could be a rough winter.
You never can definitively say what to expect, but you should really take some comfort in knowing that we'd have within our wherewithal to mitigate anything that comes our way.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, at what's likely his final White House briefing, says recent data finds someone vaccinated and boosted has a 14 times lower risk of dying from a newer Omicron strain than someone who's unvaccinated. At a bankruptcy court hearing for collapsed cryptocurrency exchange FTX, the judge just ruling that customer information, including names and email addresses, can remain secret for now. Court papers say the firm owes its top 50 creditors more than $3 billion. Fox Business's Kelly O'Grady in Wilmington.
The lawyers shared that a substantial amount of assets have been stolen or are missing from FTX. They're continuing to fight ongoing cyber attacks and are seeking to pass a motion today that would protect individuals on their staff from penalties incurred fighting those attacks.
FTX lawyers also want an investigation into what happened last year when now former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried bought out Binance's stake in the firm. Bankman-Fried is already under investigation, but for now remains at home in the Bahamas. The SUV driver who crashed into a Massachusetts Apple store yesterday, killing one person, injuring others, makes his first court appearance. The judge says she wants to make sure Bradley Rain returns.
I am going to set bail in the amount of $100,000 cash based on all of those factors.
She's also ordering Rain not to drive while the case is pending. Court documents show he's claiming the crash was not intentional. America is listening to Fox News.
Moments like seeing my son's team cheer him on mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Light winds and delightful temperatures going through this Tuesday afternoon. The sky full of sunshine. Tonight, clear skies, 32 for the overnight low. Evening temperatures will drop out of the 50s. Then on Wednesday, sunny, 59, 60. Thursday, Thanksgiving, clouds dominate. A little bit of sunshine, just a little chance of a sprinkle or a brief shower. It's dry for the most part. 52. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Annie Frey here to talk to you about the ENTs that are going to put you at the center of their practice. I'm talking about Gateway ENT. Online at gatewaydoctors.com, you're going to learn about one of the oldest private practice ear, nose, and throat groups in the area with multiple convenient locations for you. West County, Sunset Hills, Festus. For more than 40 years, they've been happily caring for children and adults. They are the most cost-effective alternative to ENT practices that are employed by large hospital systems. Learn more online at gatewaydoctors.com.
Give the gift that's hard to wrap, but easy to give. The Steel Holiday Gift Guide has outdoor power tools and more for everyone on your list. Visit your local Steel dealer or go online to stihlusa.com/gift guide.
If you're looking to build a home on the Illinois side of the river, I want you to learn about C.A. Jones. Go online to cajonesinc.com and understand how they have been so successful building so many different homes on the Illinois side of the river. It has everything to do with the quality of their homes and the quality of their business. Reach out to C.A. Jones, cajonesinc.com, and you will understand how they give back in those communities, how they work with you to customize the home build that they are going to create for you, your dream home, off of one of the many buildable home ideas, the layouts that they have on their website at cajonesinc.com. They take those those basic plans, and then you start to make it your own. And you can do that actually online with a really, really cool tool at cajonesinc.com. It's fun to just play with. Either, honestly, if you're not looking to build a home, go there and then you'll end up wanting to build a home, which is what has happened to me. So go to cajonesinc.com and learn about one of the best home builders in the entire area, but specific to the Illinois side, the place that you can check out to build your next dream home. cajonesinc.com.
The holidays are fast approaching, and it's the best time to call Zero Res. Book now and save before the holiday rush. Get 3 rooms, Zero Res of 5, starting at just $129, and a free room of fiber protectant for an $80 savings. Call 314-474-2020 or online, ZeroResSTL.com. Tell them that I sent you.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long. Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Happy Thanksgiving Tuesday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. We are excited that you are here with us. We appreciate your time. As always, we know you have a lot of choices on what to do with your ears at this time, and we're grateful that you lend them to us. So I'm taking tomorrow off because I am kind of I always try to mirror my kids' schedules if they're off for a holiday, if I can make it work with my time off that I'm allowed to spend that time home with my kiddos. And they're off tomorrow, so I'm off tomorrow. So is my husband. Is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving one of the coolest days of the year?
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
I mean, in let's see, how old are we? I'll carry the one. Minus 20 years from now, this is party night.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the biggest party nights of the year. It might be the number one party night of the year.
I think it is.
That's when Friendsgiving or whatever it's called is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody comes home from college, they're here for the night before, and
Yeah.
everybody from high school gets together and they go drink themselves under the table, I guess.
It's Guns N' Hoses night as well.
Yeah.
Very exciting event that takes place in St. Louis. So what does the biggest party night of the year look like in the Wiggins home?
I think we're just basically getting the kids to bed a little bit later than usual. Maybe they'll stay up watching some random Disney show later than usual, and we'll be like, wow, what a night.
Woo!
That was crazy.
Party.
Every once in a while, we'll have a night off like that, and Jared and I look at each other like, let's get the kids to bed early tonight for some reason. And then it's not what you think. It's like we watch Blue Bloods for like 4 hours or something like that. And you just sit in a moment of like Mom,
yes,
Mom,
yes,
Mom. And there have been since last Friday, and Brad knows what my weekend was like this past weekend. My daughter had a basketball tournament in Nashville, Illinois. My son had a tournament in Collinsville, Illinois, that also played a game in Edwardsville, Illinois. The head coach of the boys team was not able to make the tournament, and my husband assists with the team mostly because he does the girls' basketball and he's kind of there. And so my husband stepped up to help with the other assistant coaches to coach the boys team. We had Friday left here. We had a boys game in Collinsville at 4:30 p.m. and a girls game at 7:15 p.m. in Nashville, Illinois.
Okay.
That's a 55-minute drive.
Yep.
Fast. That was Friday. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Nashville, 11:45 Edwardsville, 3:15 Nashville, 5:15 Collinsville.
That's a lot of sports.
Sunday.
That's a lot of windshield time.
Sunday. Yeah, I wish I had a spare windshield.
Yeah, you don't. No, you don't.
If you know, you know.
It's not the dream you think it is.
One day I wish I could be that wealthy. He has a whole garage just for spare parts that he has no idea what to do
just
with.
In case.
I would love to know. I would love to watch you try to replace a windshield.
No, you would not.
No, I would. You would not love to be watched trying to replace a windshield. Check out the 245 segment yesterday to get the backstory on that. And then Sunday, church, 9 a.m., basketball in Collinsville at noon. And, we're going back and forth. This is my 2 oldest kids. My 6-year-old got to go spend some time with grandparents for a little bit, but pretty much tagged along with us because grandparents are coming along too. And then there's Molly, who's a 17-month-old. And she's a take-along baby. She is okay with going along to get along. She's happy most of the time. But there was one point coming back, I think it was from I don't know if it was from the last basketball game Saturday or in between the third and the fourth game. And she was upset. And she was in the car, and there's like nothing you can do. There are usually like 3 or 4 things you can do for an upset 17-month-old in a car. And then at that point, you just have to get to where you're going and handle the situation there. Because if what she doesn't want to do is be in the car seat anymore, you can't stop so she can just not be in the car seat.
Right.
And she was screaming, and one of my kids was stressing out because she wouldn't be quiet. And I turned on some music. I turned on the Disney Channel on Sirius, and I was like poking around trying to find something that would calm her down. And I have a classical station programmed in my car, popped that on, and it was playing classical music. It was beautiful classical music. And I was driving down the road, and it was chaos, and this beautiful classical music was playing, and I literally thought about jumping out of the car.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not like a threat to myself. Don't hear it that way. But I was just like, I think there are a lot of people who would not be able to handle this moment, and I'm getting close to being one of those people.
I don't know if it's this time of year or what, but you are not alone. My wife is much more patient than I am.
Yeah.
And last night, she turns to my daughter and says, I love you, but you have got to stop talking.
Oh, for sure. I get that.
And I was like, yes, that's correct.
It wasn't so much that I wanted to exit the moving vehicle to end it. I just thought it would be quieter out there.
It would be quieter out there than in here.
It would be, yeah. Could you just maybe pull over? Come back and get me later.
Right.
I got a nice fluffy coat on, and I love my kids, but they're kids. And we're asking a lot of them. They're asking a lot of us. You're just trying to get through. And I was sitting there with as much mental focus as I could possibly, that was the only thing I was doing in that moment, was thinking about staying calm. I stayed calm.
Good for you, Winston Churchill.
Yeah, I had a margarita that night. And it's just Thanksgiving week like this. So there's always going to be people who are upset with things that I do or don't do. There are people who will crab about me taking tomorrow off. I don't care. I need the day off.
That'll be us. We're
yeah, I don't listen. Okay. You guys do a fantastic job. Nobody ever complains. I will have those moments. I'll take the week between Christmas and New Year's off as well. And there will be moments during that week where if we do it right, I hope to have a day where my whole family is at home the entire day. We spend a portion of the day in the different areas of our home. Like my 6-year-old will go watch TV in my bedroom. My son will maybe go watch TV down in the basement. My oldest daughter will usually hang out with us. But we'll just all have our own places. We might not change out of our pajamas the entire day. We're not together, but we're all under the same roof, and we're all doing things like that alone time. I hope that happens this week for me, and I hope that it happens this week for you, because for what we do on a regular basis, this is something that I've heard for the last 10 years of my career. Like, if something goes wrong here, nobody dies. We're not saving lives here. There are people who have to have a mental focus because literally people's lives depend on it. What we do here is such a fast-paced, mentally, you have to put a ton of mental energy into 3 hours of being on the radio. Marc Cox has 4 hours. Mark Reardon has 3 hours. It's a tough thing to do. And it used to exhaust me to the point where when I got home, when I first started doing this on weekdays, I would go home and sit in my chair, and I would just like a robot. I would just shut down, and I would need to sleep for 30 to 45 minutes because it required so much mental energy. I know what kind of stress this is, and now I don't really have that. I'm trained for this. I know how to do this. But I think about people who do things that if my mental exhaustion causes me to make a mistake or to say something wrong or to get something wrong, there are people who are doing things as a profession, like police officers and firefighters, who we will at St. Louis will come together to support at Guns and Hoses on Wednesday night. Like, you don't get to do that. You don't get to make those mistakes. And on a national scale, especially when it comes to police officers, I mean, you can't make those. You just can't make those mistakes. You pretty much have to be perfect. And of course, they aren't perfect, but you pretty much are expected to be perfect. When I think about getting to take this time off and relax, I think about the people who will work through the holiday, and they, maybe they take some other time off to relax. It's not around the holiday proper, but I'm really grateful for those people because I know how exhausting this can be for me with 4 kids and trying to balance everything and the stress that I bring into doing this show every day that has nothing to do with who's in the studio or what we're talking about in the news. Then you compound the news cycle and the headlines. It can become a heavy lift. There are people who are doing that exact same thing, and people don't know their name, and they put a uniform on every day. They put their scrubs on every day, and they just go to work and they just keep doing what they do. And I'm grateful for those people.
Yeah. Yeah, consider this a thanks, because I don't usually think about that. You're thinking about it ahead of time. I usually think about it the day of. And it's usually Christmas more than Thanksgiving, where I have to either stop and get gas, and somebody is working at that gas station for me on Christmas or Thanksgiving. Or I turn the lights on, and I don't ever think about that except for on a holiday. Oh, somebody has to be at work right now so that I can do that. That kind of stuff. I think about it day of, so it's good to think about ahead
It's
of
so
time.
interesting what you said there. It's like I stopped to get gas, and somebody has to be there at that gas station for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's essentially it.
That's what we were talking about yesterday.
Those people are there for you. They're working because you need whatever X, Y, or Z, or you need protection, or you need a fire department in case you put the frozen turkey in and the deep fryer and you have it in your garage or whatever. You need those people there. You need it there in case you have a medical emergency. And so these people, whenever they go out to work, they're getting a paycheck, but really, they're there for you.
That reminds me of a story I had through a drive-through that Brad knows that I'll tell later. Not to sully this wonderful conversation.
Well, this is a great moment. You don't want to work.
I don't know.
Ruin it with some sort of crazy, funny story.
I wouldn't ruin it.
Oh,
the guy in the drive-through ruined it.
Oh, okay. You sure you don't want to tell that story?
I absolutely will tell a story. I'm just not going to do it in this segment.
Okay.
I'm going to let this segment remain pure and thankful for the people who are truly there for you, as opposed to the people who hate you.
Are not.
Yeah. I'll tell the story in the 2 o'clock hour because I want to get Hannah in on this.
Okay.
And I already know Hannah's going to go, oh, like the whole time, like she's going to be ready to throw down for me. I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to out anybody specifically, but it was a food stop between Nashville and Collinsville.
This wasn't a holiday, though.
Huh? No. This was this weekend.
Okay, this was this weekend. Okay.
Yes, this is fresh.
There's some extra deference given on holidays, though, right? If somebody's having a bad one, you're like, sorry, you got to be working today.
I do.
I think so.
I think so, too.
Yeah, we should talk about that in the 2 o'clock hour.
Okay.
Write down angry fast food people on the 2
Angry
o'clock hour.
Annie fast food.
No. I was not angry.
Okay, you were happy. You were chipper.
I was collected and I was calm. Fast food story. Written down, will not forget. We've got a fun show for you today. Like I said, so that's all to preface that this is my Friday, so we're going to kind of lighten things up a little bit today. But we do have Marc Cox coming up next. And we've got Jim Carafano at 1 o'clock. I'm looking forward to talking to Jim Carafano about, I heard the Fox News report on this station listening to Kill Me this morning about, I think the nuclear proliferation in Iran is at 60% and the next step is 90%, which is weapons grade. I think I said that all right. I'm not 100% sure. It all sounds scary to somebody who doesn't know what that means. I think that it would be nice for Jim Carafano to tell us what that means. And I have no promises to make that he's going to make it any less scary. He will give you the straight facts and the truth. And when we come back, though, we're going to talk to Marc Cox. I'm looking forward to talking to him about the first responder Thanksgiving raffle that he has. And it's really, really cool. He's going to explain that to us when we return and get his thoughts on Thanksgiving and about Brian Kilmeade coming to town and maybe his thoughts about Ryan Wiggins.
That's fine with me.
Should we do a performance review?
I think so.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should, because Wiggins America
I love
today.
your conciliatory face.
I'm just here for the ride. Wiggins America today.
Ryan, I know.
Communicated through song.
Through song. Yeah, you said that today would be the best Wiggins America that you've ever done?
I think maybe so, yeah.
And better than yesterday.
Yeah.
To be physically impossible not to achieve.
If I did worse than yesterday.
I mean, seriously, if you didn't hear Wiggins America yesterday, the man connected women wearing lipstick and shorter skirts as an indicator that the economy is getting bad. You can finish the rest. We called him out on it, though. It's unbelievable. Marc Cox, when we come back, don't go away.
We all get to see those fields of green turn gold.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
We'll all be watching the TV the day that it comes.
Family is what makes your house a home, and a home theater from the Sound Room is a great way to do that. Get a 10-foot home theater today for $86.99. You heard it right. $86.99. It's a 120-inch screen. It also includes a 4K Epson projector, an Onkyo surround sound receiver, Paradigm speakers, and a subwoofer. Popcorn and installation are extra. The Sound Room in Chesterfield is the St. Louis leader in home technology. TheSoundRoom.com. Right next to Amini's in the Chesterfield Valley. The Sound Room.
Jen Teskey with RE/MAX Alliance. This is your girl, folks. If you are looking to sell your home on the Illinois side of the river, if you're looking to buy a home on the Illinois side of the river, I want you to connect with Jen Teskey. She knows the lay of the land on the Illinois side of the river. You need somebody with experience. I understand when it comes to selling your home that you might have a realtor friend or an aunt or a cousin that just got their license. Yeah, I get it. I appreciate that, but you want to make sure that you're not going to sacrifice a lot of money on that sale. Jen Teskey can walk you through the whole process. She has an amazing team, an amazing staff that is there to support her and to support you in getting a fast top dollar sale. You should see this listing that she has right now with the wildest garage I have ever seen over on the Illinois side of the river. If you're a gearhead and you are looking for the best garage that's ever been built, Jen Teskey, she has a listing for you right now. 618-541-1010. That's 618-541-1010. She's with RE/MAX Alliance, and her 15-plus years of experience of helping families with the selling and buying of homes can be yours. Easy call or text her right now. 618-541-1010. That's 618-541-1010.
Brian Kilmeade here. I'm coming back to St. Louis December 9th at the Missouri Athletic Club for a Brian Kilmeade live event with my friends at 97.1 FM Talk. Enjoy a delicious filet dinner, cocktails, and we'll talk about my book, The President Freedom Fighter, and all the news that consumes the headlines. Plus, everyone who attends will receive an autographed copy of my book, now out on paperback. For tickets, go to 971talk.com/events.
Brian Kilmeade Live is presented by Straight Realty.
I'm looking forward to seeing you December 9th.
For tickets, 971talk.com/events.
Well, if you've heard me talking about Genesis of St. Charles, consider this a little bit of insider info that if you weren't listening to the Annie Frey Show here on 97.1, you might not know, because if you drive by the St. Charles Automotive Campus, which I'm sure you have, it's just a quarter mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall, big sprawling campus, lots of different automobiles there for you to see. You might not know that Genesis of St. Charles is even there, because they're right now located inside the St. Charles Hyundai showroom. So a little bit of insider info also, that when you walk in, you don't have to negotiate with them. You'll never pay more than MSRP, which a lot of dealerships are not doing right now. They're charging above and beyond because they know they can get it, but not there. This is young luxury. This is a Genesis, and it's only happening at Genesis of St. Charles. Check them out. Again, they're part of the St. Charles Automotive Campus, just a quarter mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall. Young luxury means that you're going to enjoy complimentary maintenance for 3 years on that luxury car, a Genesis. They're on Veterans Memorial Parkway, online at genesisofstcharles.com.
Brian Kilmeade here. I'm coming back to St. Louis December 9th at the Missouri Athletic Club for a Brian Kilmeade live event with my friends at 97.1 FM Talk.
Brian Kilmeade Live is presented by Straight Realty.
For tickets, go to 971talk.com/events.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Come to the time.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
When family and friends gather near to offer a prayer of thanksgiving for blessings we've known through the years, to join hands and thank the Creator now when Thanksgiving is due. And this year when I count my blessings, I'm thanking the Lord He made you.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Thanksgiving week. We are appreciative that you are here. A reminder, you just heard Brian Kilmeade talking about the event that is taking place on December 9th at the Missouri Athletic Club. We would love for you to attend with us to welcome Brian Kilmeade to town. He's going to talk about his book and basically anything that we want to throw at him. Mark Reardon is going to be there, and so is my friend Marc Cox.
The conservative, so-called, is the one that says, less government, get off my back.
I'm the best there is at what I do. I'm a lying, dog-faced pony soldier.
I wouldn't make it a habit calling me that, son.
And that's the bottom line.
Marc Cox, welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. How are you? Good to talk to you.
I'm great, Annie. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, getting ready for a nice, relaxing Thanksgiving week. I want to talk to you about your First Responder Thanksgiving ATF raffle in a second. But what does Thanksgiving look like in the Cox household?
It's going to be great this year because, as you're well aware with your little one, our grandson is 18 months old now, and he's starting to really enjoy things, and we'll have the whole family over to our house. It'll be kind of relaxed. We're going to go to Guns and Hoses on Wednesday night, and then we'll get up, put the turkey in Thursday morning, and have a nice meal at the house. It'll be beautiful.
Is Guns and Hoses sold out? It usually is. Do you know if it's sold out?
They only had, when I had the Chiefs on last week on Thursday, they only had 1,500 seats left. So I would imagine it will sell out if it hasn't already. There were tickets available at local hair salon locations I know for a pretty good deal. People are still looking. You can get 2 tickets for $25, which is they're normally $20 a piece.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and a great cause, great thing to support. Talk to me about this First Responder Thanksgiving ATF raffle people can participate in.
Yeah, thank you for giving me a chance for that, Annie. It ends tomorrow, which is why I wanted an opportunity to let your listeners hear about it. So It benefits Responder Rescue. It's an organization, unlike Backstoppers. Backstopper steps in when there's a death. Responder Rescue steps in when first responders are hurt in the line of duty. They help them out. So 100% of the proceeds go to that. We're selling tickets online. They are $10 a piece, and people have a chance to win one of 4 fabulous prizes, either alcohol, tobacco, firearms, or food. So it's fantastic. It's my ATF raffle. There's a basket of bourbon with really well-known bourbons like E.H. Taylor and Blanton's and all that, which are hard to get. And there's a box of cigars that's worth $600. And the range is donating a gun that's worth $1,600. And then one of my sponsors, Tony Stone of Grillmaster Tony, has offered up a buffet for 25 people with brisket and pulled pork and all that. And that's worth like $600. So anyway, it's going to be great. We'll pull 4 winners tomorrow at noon. I'm going to go live on the station Facebook page at around just before noon, and we'll pull a winner then. And you don't have to be present to win. I'm going to be up at the range doing the live Facebook.
That's awesome.
So not just ATF raffle, ATFF this year.
Yeah, ATFF. Yeah, the food got thrown in at the last minute, but it was always going to be an ATF raffle.
Yeah,
so that worked out pretty well.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah,
I was listening to some of the Kilmeade ads that were playing just before we started talking. This is an event so Brian Kilmeade comes to town. I don't know if he comes to town every year, but he usually comes to town, usually associated. Yeah.
COVID kind of screwed that up.
With a new book, of course, which he has this year. I have never been to a Kilmeade event. Can you describe what these are like for somebody who hasn't been?
Yeah. Oh, it's great. He is. Hold on, I'm walking my grandson right now as I'm talking to you.
That's okay.
He is Brian's just one of the most down to earth national media people you've ever met. He you've had him on the radio before probably. He is what he is. He doesn't put on any airs. I mean, he's just the guy you'd like to sit down and have a beer with. And he's fascinating because of that quick wit, and he can talk about just about anything. I mean, there's no subject you can throw at him that he's not just completely informed on. And we loved having him here. I mean, last event he went to, we probably had 400 people in the room. 2 hours after it was supposed to be over, he was still there signing books. It's just the kind of guy he is, right? So it's going to be a night to remember, and I hope people are grabbing those tickets while they're still available.
I want people to understand 971talk.com/events that we've done some really amazing Kill Meat events before, and we try to wrap the station around his visit. We're going to do that again. So, Mark, you're going to be there. Reardon's going to be there. I'm going to be there. But doing this at the Missouri Athletic Club, that's kind of exciting in its own right.
Yeah. It ought to be nice. If people haven't been downtown, it's far different than the one in West County. The one in West County is, it's got the athletic facility and all that. The one downtown is really historic. It's old. It's got the wood paneling. It's just beautiful. And I mean, you're getting a filet mignon, and a signed book by Brian, and you're probably going to get to meet him at some point. It's really going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a big deal. So I'm glad we've got him coming.
Mark, I want to talk to you about not so much, I feel like the midterm elections, that's been beaten to death at this point, but you're spending some time right now with your grandson, and you've been in TV news, you've been a financial advisor, you're a radio show talk host. These are all important things that reflect on what's going on in the world. You have to be knowledgeable for all of those different situations. You know, in TV news, and you're reporting local stories, that's different than what you do here on 97.1, talking more about national news and politics, and pairing that all together, but also understanding what is going on in the economy and being able to relate to that. And now you got a grandson. I got to imagine that of all of your jobs and your roles in the world, that spending some time there with your grandson makes you think about the future in a way that none of those other jobs probably have had you thinking. How does that shift your thoughts and perspectives on what you have to cover on a daily basis, knowing you've got a little grandson there that matters when it comes to talking about the future of this country?
Yeah, it just elevates it, doesn't it? I mean, it amplifies it in so many ways. We talk every election, no, it's the most important election ever. I mean, the stakes have never been higher, and just having him here and knowing that, wondering what the world's going to look like 15 years from now when he's getting ready to graduate from high school. You have to wonder what's going to happen if we don't stop this debt and this just crazy, out of control social spending. It's frightening. I mean, it drives home the importance of what we do every day, and the fact that we got to seriously have a conversation in this country about what's going to happen in 2024. We started to cover that debate a little bit with Mike Pence on his book tour and President Trump announcing and what that's going to look like. I mean, it's really it just really drives home. And you know me, I'm a pretty serious guy. I've covered all these issues for years, but knowing that this little guy is going to have to live with the decisions we make these days kind of frightens me, I have to be honest.
Mark, this is something I've been thinking about. I want to run by you just since we're talking with you. This is a time that it seems like there's a lot of people that want to disengage. They're tired. We've been through a lot as a nation the last few years. But this also, to me, is a time when you look back over American history, when things are this contentious, this is when the heroes are formed. This is when people are forged in the fire. And to me, this is when people can't back down. This is when people have to stand up and say, no, we have a republic to save here.
Think of, just as you were mentioning that, Ryan, I'm thinking, think of Valley Forge. I mean, think of what George Washington's troops went through on that river, freezing to death. Many of them had just rags wrapped around their feet trying to stay warm during the Revolutionary War. I mean, that was, we don't know what suffering is in this country. So I hope people kind of take that to heart. I mean, many of us still have that spirit in us, and I hope people carry that into 2024 and really realize what the stakes are here. It's more than just letting somebody in big tech get us worked up over issues that don't matter. Right. And they're going to try to do that. Like this last 2 mornings, we've been banned off of YouTube.
No, what'd you
on my
do?
show.
What'd you? No.
We don't know. We
Don't
don't
tell
know,
me. Don't tell me. Don't say it on this show.
Don't
Keep it to
mention
yourself.
the word.
Don't
just in
say.
case.
Yeah, I got it. Man, I didn't think about that. I've got Ryan on a pretty tight leash because he's our go-to guy. We are currently strike free on our channel.
Okay, so we had a doctor on. We had a doctor on talking about some of the drugs surrounding COVID, and I'm guessing that's probably what triggered it.
Well,
isn't that a shame?
What about Elon Musk buying Twitter? Do you think how big of a splash and a ripple does that event occur to the next 2 years going into another election? I mean, we just got done with this one. Elon Musk is, Kathy Griffin is back on Twitter. Donald Trump is back on Twitter. I saw yesterday that Juanita Broderick is back on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're just coming out of the woodwork right now. What happens in these next 2 years? Is it a big deal?
It's a good question. What we need to do is start a campaign to convince Elon to buy YouTube.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And Facebook and all the others.
And all the others. If he just buys them all, we'll be okay. I mean, what you're gonna see here, I think, is a sharper and sharper contrast between the freedom that he's allowing and the restrictions on these other sites.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe people will realize that they don't want to live in a world that's filtered.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because money talks, ratings talk. And maybe if people start abandoning these other sites, maybe they start to feel the pressure. Other than that, I mean, just having the House and a few hearings surely won't be enough to stop what big tech's been doing to us.
Well,
we know that.
Marc Cox, we appreciate your time today. One more time before we let you go, I want to give people, go ahead and tell people about the raffle that you have because it ends tomorrow. So if you're interested in this, folks, you got to act on it. Basically, let's just act on it right now. Marc, what can people win and where do they need to go?
So they can win alcohol, tobacco, firearms, or food. Again, it's all right there online. You can go to responderrescue.org. They're the ones running the raffle. We've got a link to it up on our website at 971talk.com/Cox. And it's also therangestl.com, the Range St. Louis West. You can buy the tickets in person or you can buy them on their website. We draw tomorrow at noon.
Perfect.
So, and we'll go live on Facebook to do that. Thank you, Annie.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've shared that link with our live chat right now on our Annie Frey YouTube page, and we will encourage people to go there throughout the show. Marc, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. We know you got your hands full. We will talk to you again soon.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
All
we'll
right,
talk to you later.
bye.
Bye. That's the funniest thing.
He's walking
so
his
cute.
grandson.
And I know I have done interviews, call-ins, at least on 97.1, where I've got like a kid in tow, and I'm like, this is gonna be a disaster. You know, when I was talking before about how I was in the car and it was so noisy and stressful that I thought about jumping out of the car because it was just quieter on the side of the road. You're just waiting for one of those moments to happen where you're, as a mom, going, I'm sorry, I gotta go. Like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta focus on the kiddo. But he's doing a great job.
Up until just recently, I had been doing my call-ins on Marc Cox's show on Fridays from home, and I had my 5-year-old with me for most of those. So 5-year-old got to watch the Wildcrats for those 15 minutes every Friday.
I don't know what that is.
That is just some random PBS show.
PBS?
Yeah.
I don't let my kids watch PBS.
Yeah, you know what?
I let my kids watch Disney, and I don't let them watch PBS. Is that weird?
A little bit.
Specific Disney.
Mm-hmm. But you know what they're watching.
Yes.
That's the whole point of it.
Yes.
Is that you're filtering, you know exactly what's coming
I
into
know
your house.
more about the Disney shows than I do about the PBS shows, and I know enough about the PBS shows to see what they're weaving in casually in shows on a regular basis to know that unless I've watched the episode, no.
Well, we look up everything ahead of time, and I think that one was given the stamp of approval.
Yeah, I'm not judging your parenting decision at all. I'm just saying I don't know Wildcrats.
The Wildcrats.
I just don't know PBS stuff because I just have told my kids no.
Yeah, I know when they're watching it because, and this is probably true of every kid's show, The voices are so over animated.
Yeah, aren't they annoying?
Yes.
I hate it. I know.
And I'm an animated guy. And they still, I'm like, no, that's too much.
When we come back, Ryan Wiggins has Wiggins America, and it's in song form. You didn't send the text today.
That's right.
You didn't send the request for approval today. You're just doing it.
Yeah, we're just going for it.
I didn't even get a chance because, folks, every once in a while, I tell him no. It's like 4 out of 5 days.
You said in this segment, you keep me on a pretty tight leash.
Yeah. I mean, so does Brad.
Brad does.
It's a team effort.
This one, I am off leash because nobody knows what I'm doing right now.
Ryan, I love you, but I need you to stop talking.
You're waiting for that.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Wiggins Unleashed. My apologies already.
Thanking the Lord he made you.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I'm thanking the Lord he made you. And when the time comes to be going, it won't be in sorrow and tears. I'll kiss you goodbye and I'll go on the way, grateful for all of the years. I thank for all that you gave me, for teaching me what love can do. And Thanksgiving Day for the rest of my life, I'm thanking the Lord he made you. And Thanksgiving Day for the rest of my life, I'm thanking the Lord he made you.
So Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group, along with his nephew Bob Kershaw, they are your coaches. They are your guides to making sure that when you are nearing retirement, that you are going to go, yeah, I got a plan. I know what's going to happen. I've got the people in my corner who have laid this out for me. You worked really hard throughout your career. You were working really hard throughout your career, but you know that retirement is right around the corner. That's when you need Thomas Helbig. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, the team at Retirement Advisory Group can help you usher in retirement with confidence. You call them, you set an appointment, you mention the Annie Frey Show when you give them the ring, and you sit down and you listen to what they have to say. They're going to talk to you about how they can protect your money, protect your nest egg, and make sure that you have an exhale as you go into retirement and not that kind of anxiety and that worry that comes along with not being confident in your future. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. You can find them online right now at retirementkey.com.
What's the best product I bought this year? Oh, that's easy. Salonpas pain-relieving patches. The proven medicines in Salonpas patches reduce my pain and let me do the things I need to do every day.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salonpas reported improved sleep, mood, and the ability to work. They had less pain and were able to reduce their use of oral pain medications.
For pain, I use Salonpas. It's good medicine.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you. I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The voice for hardworking, free-thinking Americans.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk.
They want to hear the Thanksgiving song. All right.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
This is
Interact with Annie on
This is the
Facebook.
Thanksgiving
The
song.
Annie Frey Show.
Love to eat turkey. Love to eat turkey. Oh, I love you. Love to eat turkey, 'cause it's good. Love to eat turkey like a good boy should, 'cause it's turkey to eat. So good. That clapping's messing my head up, man. I appreciate it, but I was trying to think of the next line. I'm like, all I hear is clapping. Here we go. Thanks anyways. Turkey for me, turkey for you. Let's eat the turkey in my big brown shoe. Love to eat the turkey at the table. I once saw a movie with Betty Grable. Eat that turkey all night long. 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. Turkey lurkey do and turkey lurkey dap. I eat that turkey, then I take a nap.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! Oh, I didn't do it. Okay.
That's an indicator for how this is going to go.
I was trying to figure out what is 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. What is that reference? I don't get it. Does anybody get that one?
About how good he is?
But it's,
What was the line before that?
related to eating turkey.
Is this what you really want to spend Wiggins America discussing?
Kind of.
Because I can go on this.
Please do. If you know, I would just love to know.
I'll know by the end of the segment.
Okay.
I'll interject when your segment starts crashing and burning.
Yeah, because it will. Because here's the problem. This is a dirge. This is a sad song. I've been working on it for over a year.
I wouldn't tell people that.
A dirge is a lament for the dead, especially one forming part of a funeral rite.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. And that's what this is.
I was at Stiefel Theater seeing Harry Connick Jr., and they did something like that, and then they did like the whole New Orleans, because New Orleans does a lot of this stuff.
Mhm.
It was they had the whole band, they left the stage, they walked around the whole, oh man, it was so cool.
That sounds pretty cool.
Is this going to be of that caliber?
I don't have, no. This is, no.
I'm ready.
Although I have practiced this, and I'm a little bit nervous because there's a lot here.
Stop. Just do it.
All right.
Hammer time.
Here we go. These last 12 months have been. They've been a very good year. They've been a very good year for Ryan and for KFC. I'd order number 15
I'm glad this is so slow.
and get my chicken for free. That's what my Tuesdays have been. Only 2 more verses.
Oh my gosh. You're just trying to get more free chicken.
Well,
You just want this to get back to KFC.
the lyrics may indicate.
This is a plea.
What will my coming year be? When all my chicken's not free. When all my chicken's not free at the Tucker Boulevard KFC. Will I go without meat? Or will I beg in the streets? What will my coming year be? Last verse. Little backstory. I had free KFC for a year. It ended
Then
today.
what the hell am I doing here tonight?
Yeah. Probably should explain that.
A little backstory would have made me.
Dear corporate KFC, receive my impassioned plea.
He's a big boy.
Receive my impassioned plea to sponsor me in 2023.
It'll only cost chicken.
I talked to my manager, Steve, who said rather dismissively, Wiggins, you are amusingly naive. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's the end.
That's the end? Wow.
That is the end. This is
Oh
a
my
dirge.
gosh.
Today, I'm holding it up right now. Look at that.
This is your last KFC?
That's the last
Oh.
one. It's been a year of free KFC.
What happened? Tell us how you got to this point.
Well, what happened was last year, I think maybe on this very day, cold November day, I noticed that a KFC had been built in our lower level here.
Yeah.
And that they had an opening banner sign opening today. First 50 customers get free KFC for a year.
From what I understand, the story that you told before was there was a line forming and you didn't know what it was for.
That's correct. I didn't. I saw the line. I thought, oh, maybe that thing's opening today. And then there was a banner that said, first 50 customers get free chicken for a year. So I didn't know what that meant. So I ran down there.
That's confusing.
They should have been more clear.
Well, it wasn't exactly clear because I got in there. I was number 43, I think 44, somewhere around there. So barely got in the top 50. Got the card, and then they said it's only on Tuesdays. And I'm like, well, you set the rules. That's fine.
My favorite thing is that I think KMOX was down there reporting on it, but not getting free chicken.
That's right.
KMOX was down there actually working.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Ryan's like, whoop, slip right into that line, number 43, free chicken for a year.
Uh-huh. And if they wouldn't have recognized me, I would have said, I can do an interview. That's fine.
What are the odds that somebody from KMOX is down there and they don't recognize you? 50-50?
Yeah, probably 50-50. Who's that guy? That's that guy's always relentlessly self-promoting.
This guy looks exactly like somebody who wants free KFC for a year.
Yeah, this poor schlub.
This is also the KFC where you were getting free refills throughout the day because they were downstairs and you had a moral conundrum as to whether or not that was appropriate.
I did. So I formerly had a moral conundrum. You guys cleared that up for me. Because
You're welcome. You asked.
I did.
For the record, folks.
I said, here's the deal. I've been taking my KFC cup that I got, boom, right there. Regardless of whether I got it for free or not, it didn't matter to me. It was just you get a cup. Once you leave the restaurant,
Camera's
can you go
over there.
back? I know, I'm looking at it.
You can show it. So
Can we go back to the restaurant to get a free refill? You guys said no, but I had done it once. And you were right. I
only
asked,
once.
Yeah, only
you
once.
You did it once, and then you questioned.
I felt
if that
bad
was
about
okay.
it. And so I asked you guys, give me a ruling here.
Should I feel bad about it?
And you said, yes, you should feel bad. And I said, well, here's my case. And so I went back down there and asked the girl at the counter, is this wrong? And you guys were saying it was morally, no, you once you leave, you have to buy a new one. She said
Correct.
it's actually, it's related to health concerns. You can't take a cup that had been sterilized and new out of the restaurant and bring it back for health reasons.
It's funny that it would remain healthily okay if the cup just stayed in the restaurant.
Yeah, if you're sitting in the restaurant for hours on end.
Super sanitized.
Chris says on YouTube, is it over? I had to turn it off. LOL. So it's over. You can come back now.
Yeah.
But you can also, if you didn't hear the whole thing, go on the Odyssey app and rewind to about, 12:48 and hear the whole thing again.
You can.
Are you going to listen to it?
No.
Are you going to record it and
I'm
release
not.
it?
I don't think I want to play it back. I was really nervous going into that because I could have recorded it and just played it back for you, and it would have been
No, that was live.
fantastic.
That's the first time he's sung live on the air.
Yes.
Nick on YouTube also just donated $1.99 to the Wiggins KFC Fund.
Oh, thank you.
Which I could think of a lot of things that deserve money more than that.
I don't know. That'll go to a nice half of a Chicken Little.
The top half.
Yeah, just give me the bun, please.
You get the top bun and the sauce and the pickle.
Yeah. This is from Nick N.
I'm gonna
You're
need.
like, oh, okay. Thank you.
How was your final meal?
Gotta say, it was just like all the others. They do a great job of being
Consistency.
very consistent.
I think that KFC is a sleeper hit for fast food.
It really is.
If you get, for my family, it's kind of the in between of. Because we make a solid effort to try to eat at the dinner table at home every chance we get. And that's not always possible. If you heard me talk about the 7 games that I had to go back and forth, no game was consistently in the same gym. Nashville, Illinois to Collinsville and Edwardsville. If you are looking to have a dinner at home at the table and bring something home, going to get a family meal from KFC is about as close as you can get to good, wholesome food. And I mean, I know what I'm saying. I get it. But chicken with vegetable sides
Family
and mashed,
style food.
family style food that you can sit down and still enjoy together is important for us. And it's something that we will do from time to time as a kind of bridge between we don't want to drive through and eat in the car, and it's at that point eating is almost like I don't know.
Speaking of which, I am looking forward to now hearing your fast food story. You heard mine through song.
Oh, yes.
And then you get to tell yours in the 2:00 hour.
I'm going to tell it at 2:00, and Hannah, you got to be there for that. I got to know how you guys would handle it. And Brad's already heard this story.
Okay.
Yes.
Fresh for me.
It is. Something else.
I was not rude, but I did require some response.
Okay.
And I think that most people would. I didn't know what to do in this instance, and I still haven't called the owner.
It's that.
Which is
to
what
that level.
I think. That's really the question I will have for listeners in the 2:00 hour. Should I follow up with the owner about this story?
Okay.
So that'll be at 2:00. Let's talk to Jim Carafano in the next hour. We'll be right back.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Let's make sure your current payroll provider isn't overcharging you, shall we? First, go to your payroll provider's website to see what you're currently paying. Oh, what's that? You can't clearly see your pricing because your vendor is running a temporary sale or making you call for a free quote? That's unfortunate. If you go to PatriotSoftware.com, you will instantly see our payroll pricing for companies with 1 to 100 employees. Well, there you go. At least now you know what you should be paying for payroll. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll processing free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Stewart's American Mortgage, the bagel loan guy, as rates have dipped right now. You might be hearing about super high rates on mortgages right now. Well, inflation reports came back lower than expected, so rates have taken a dip. This means if you have gotten a mortgage, new home, or refinance in the last 90 days, guess what? This is perfect prime example of where the bagel loan comes in and saves the day, and you only get the bagel loan with Stewart's American Mortgage. Those rates were super high in the last 90 days, so if you did get a mortgage then, you can go to Stewart's American Mortgage and refinance and secure a lower rate. Why would you do that so quickly? Well, because when you use the bagel loan, he doesn't charge you those closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees. It is no cost to you to go through this process. It makes sense when you sit down and he can give you the full explanation details of how he doesn't charge you those fees. He doesn't hide them away. They don't exist. Refinance now and get that lower rate at 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
KFTK FM Florissant.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group.
97.1 FM Talk.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The president is involved. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. That from the White House amid the renewed threat of a rail strike. The administration asking both sides to come together in good faith and resolve this. 4 of the 12 rail unions rejecting the tentative agreement that was announced in September.
The contract gave an immediate 14.1% increase in wages. The wages would go up by 24% by 2024. The concern centers around time off and sick leave.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence at the White House.
The first possible date for a strike is December 5th. One of the unions is set to strike that day. 3 of those unions that voted no, the 3 others set to strike on December 9th. So we could see that first date pushed back to December 9th, so a strike happens all at once.
A freight strike could cripple supply chains at the height of the holiday season, also possibly stranding commuters whose rail lines use tracks owned by the freight railroads. Many Thanksgiving travelers already on the move, some opting for the train instead of flying or driving.
A lot of people are making their way to wherever they're trying to go. Some people headed home for the holidays, but some people are already just going on a trip. Maybe they had a vacation week. But AAA says nearly 1.5 million people will choose to travel by train, bus, or even cruise this Thanksgiving season. That's 23% more than last year, 96% more in 2019. With COVID travel restrictions lifted, it seems like people are just getting more comfortable taking public transportation again.
Fox Weather's Katie Byrne at an Amtrak station in Philadelphia. For Thanksgiving weekend, today, tomorrow, and Sunday are considered the busiest travel days, though it could spread out a bit more with remote workers able to take off early or come home from a trip later. The White House hoping people make time to get an updated COVID shot.
We need to make protecting our loved ones an important part of the conversation we have around the Thanksgiving table, an important part of the conversation we have in the days and weeks ahead.
COVID response coordinator Dr. Ashish Jha launching a new vaccine campaign while also urging Congress to pass more COVID funding. America is listening to Fox News.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Light winds and delightful temperatures going through this Tuesday afternoon. The sky full of sunshine. Tonight, clear skies, 32 for the overnight low. Evening temperatures will drop out of the 50s. Then on Wednesday, sunny, 59, 60. Thursday, Thanksgiving, clouds dominate. A little bit of sunshine, just a little chance of a sprinkle or a brief shower. It's dry for the most part. 52. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I want to talk to you about Gateway ENT, the ear, nose, and throat doctors that you haven't seen yet, and you've been asking yourself, why not? GatewayDRS.com, GatewayDoctors.com. These are the people who you could trust. And these are the people who you go to see after the first ear, nose, and throat guy that you saw or girl that you've seen weren't able to really solve the issue. Gateway ENT will get to the bottom of it. And this is the best part about Gateway ENT that I appreciate the most. You are at the epicenter of the entire experience. Their patient care is the purpose that they are there to serve. They're not beholden to any other big corporate masters. They keep you right at the epicenter of that patient-doctor care scenario, and they recommend for you what is best for you, not what is best for some system out there that they are beholden to. Reach out to Gateway ENT and schedule an appointment today. They get people in fast. Don't think that you got to wait on it. Schedule an appointment today with the best ENTs in the St. Louis area. GatewayDRS.com.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
I am running because I believe the world has not yet seen the true glory of what this nation can be. It's about our love for this great country.
97.1 FM Talk.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
The holidays are fast approaching, and it's the best time to call Zero Res. Book now and save before the holiday rush. Get 3 rooms, Zero Resified, starting at just $129, and a free room of fiber protectant for an $80 savings. Call 314-474-2020 or online, ZeroResSTL.com. Tell them that I sent you.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Oh, it's absolutely massive. And there's no excuse at this point. We know from leaked data, from leaked audio, from reports that Chinese officials via ByteDance, its parent company, have decided to monitor the specific locations of Americans. This was a Forbes article recently using the app TikTok. And we know that engineers in China can access Americans' data when they use this platform. So there's no question. It is a CCP, a Chinese Communist Party spy app, and Americans are using it. They should get off.
That is Kara Frederick with the Heritage Foundation, a colleague of our dear friend Jim Carafano.
Jim Carafano,
These are dangerous times.
Vice President for Foreign and Security Policy at Heritage.
So I think that the station here might be on TikTok. The Annie Frey Show isn't on TikTok, not because I really know anything about it. I've just been hearing stories like this quite a bit. Jim Carafano on a Thanksgiving week still has time for the listeners of the Annie Frey Show, and we are thankful for you, Jim. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, I'm thankful I hired Kara because she's super smart. Look, TikTok is literally created as a backdoor into American society. The Chinese plan was apps like TikTok, 5G, the superhighway of moving data, and then taking all that data, vacuuming it up, and taking it back to China and using artificial intelligence and quantum computing, essentially making China the world's dominant information superpower. China wanted us to do with information what countries try to do with nuclear weapons during the Cold War. This is an immediate danger. The Trump administration recognized this. They were going to squash it. The Biden administration blinked. It makes no sense. India banned these apps. And you know what happened in India? Nothing. Kids in India still found, places to do belly dancing videos and cat videos and stuff. So the world didn't come to an end. And India eliminated a very serious, a really, really serious and insidious threat. And the fact that we just haven't done this yesterday, remember, this is Joe Biden who just stood up after publishing a national security strategy which says China is an existential threat to the United States. He stands up in the middle of a global meeting and says, I can work this out with China. It reminds me of, when Bush said, I looked in, Putin's eyes and all these other yahoos that somehow they think they're just so smart and they're going to make these guys behave. And these guys go to sleep every night and all they do is dream up how to wake up in a world without America. I mean, it's just like the notion that somehow, I would not just TikTok. Here's whether you're talking about Chinese land purchases or Chinese at a university, any Chinese involvement in the United States, no matter how innocuous it seems, the first thing I would do is ask, how can the Chinese exploit this to hurt us? Because if they can, they will.
Jim Carafano with us right now. He's the Vice President for Foreign and Security Policy at the Heritage Foundation, on Twitter at JJ Carafano. I think people would look at, if TikTok were banned, there'd be people who would think that it's censoring free speech, and they'd look at the platform and what it does on the surface. What you're talking about is what is deep under the surface, and the difference truly that exists with a TikTok in America and a TikTok in China. Plain speak to me, Jim, what is happening with the usage of TikTok in America that is so incredibly nefarious?
Well, the most serious thing is the incredible amount of access that we're giving to the Chinese into our privacy, our own lives, our geostrategic location, our interests, and everything else. It's just unbelievable. It's literally like giving John Dillinger the key to the vault and say, hey, come on in, make withdrawals whenever you want. It just makes no sense. It's not a freedom of speech issue. There are plenty of platforms that could provide this, and so it's not really restricting or bothering anybody. No, okay. Look, there are people that make money off of apps and some of these things, right? So they're influencers. So they make, they have a gazillion users. That is like 1% of the people on these platforms, like on YouTube or Reels or TikTok, that actually make a significant living off this thing. And the reality is if they were not stupid, they would realize that they want to own their intellectual property and not have the Chinese own it, and they should take it to a platform where not only are they going to make money, but also their future is secure. So it makes zero sense. I mean, this makes about as much sense as letting the Russians, buy Burger Kings in the United States during the Cold War. This is just not. There is just no logical argument to do this, and the fact that this administration hasn't moved with a clarity to clamp down on this, it just shows they're just deer in the headlights on the China issue, because John Kerry is always whispering there, well, we need China to cooperate on climate change, even though the Chinese are doing nothing on climate change. They're doing nothing on illegal drug use. They're doing nothing on illegal fishing. They're doing nothing on pollution. They're doing nothing on the issues that we care about. But yet still we have to be nice to them because they're going to help us on these issues, even though they don't.
Chris, on our YouTube channel right now, he made this comment, and I think it's a really interestingly worded comment, because I think the people who aren't paying much, if any, attention to like global positioning in the United States and China are kind of thinking the same thing. Here's what he says: why does China hate us? We buy so much from them.
Well, everybody in China may not hate us, but here's the thing. This is the fundamental problem that China has. And it's not just with Americans. It's with most countries. Fundamentally, we believe in human rights. We believe that people should elect their own government, and we believe in some version of the free market system, that people should benefit from their labors. The Chinese don't believe in any of those things. And as a matter of fact, they see those specific things as the fundamental obstacle to the expansion of power and influence. So when people say, well, what have you done to the Chinese? The answer is nothing. It's not what we've done. It's who we are. It's very, very difficult for the Chinese to look at the United States and see people living prosperous and free and secure, and then having to go to their own citizens and take away all their freedom, all their prosperity, and all their security, and accept that other people can live a different way. So this is the problem with Joe Biden. He thinks if I can just reach out to the Chinese in the right way, that everything will be fine. The only thing that will make the Chinese happy, just like the only thing that would have made Hitler happy or Stalin happy, is if we just aren't who we are anymore. There's a great book. It's called The Visions of Victory. So it's written by this guy named Gerhard Weinberger, orator historian. And what he did is he actually found the documents of all the great powers, China, Russia, Hitler, the Japanese, the Americans, the British, and it's what do they think? What do they want the world to look like when the war is over? And if you read what the Japanese and the Nazis said about what the world would look like, I mean, their vision for America was very simple. It would be a slave state supporting them. And so it's just, I don't know how you tell. It's like, the Terminator thing where the guy says, you can't talk to it. It's just going to keep coming.
Yeah.
That's what China is today.
Man, it does deserve an awakening, but you have to have that awakening, of course, at the highest levels in order for anything to happen. I heard a report on our Fox News top of the hour here. I think it was during Kilmeade show before my show started. And I'm going to say this, and if I get it wrong, please obviously correct me where I got it wrong. But it sounds scary to me in my ignorance. I'm hoping you can fill in the gaps. And I don't know if it's going to make it less scary, but help us understand. Iran is at 60% proliferation on, is it uranium? And 90% is weapons grade, and that's one step away from where they are right now. The Biden administration has said, we're not going to let them become a nuclear nation. Where are we on this? And I mean, to me, that sounds scary. It doesn't sound like the Biden administration really is stopping anything from happening, and Iran nuclear deal is on the table. Where are we?
So when you say uranium, stuff that powers nuclear reactors, you can also make a bomb with it, but it has to be 90% pure. And the way you do that is you spin centrifuges to separate the material until you get to what's called weapons grade, something that you could actually build a bomb with. The reality is since Joe Biden's been in office, once you pass the threshold of like 20%, the rest is gravy. So the fact that you're worried about 60%, like, dude, you should have been worried 2 years ago. Because 90% of the work is like getting to 20%. That's the easy part. So they are already at the point where they can build a nuclear weapon. They have the designs, they have the infrastructure to get the weapons grade material, they have the delivery systems. What's holding them back is a political decision, not a technology decision. And this is what the Biden guys just don't get. They keep trying to put together an Iran deal, but that's like making it. It's like after the bank robbers already left the bank. I mean, there is no deal that could keep Iran from getting the ability to build a nuclear weapon. They already have that. What's going to keep them from going nuclear is the fear of how other people will react to that. So it's the military, economic pressure, the diplomatic pressure, the political pressure, not buying them off. So here we are. I mean, not to beat on an administration, but we just talked through two of the three most consequential challenges the United States and the world has today: China, Iran, and we have mentioned Russia and North Korea. Mm-hmm. But China and Iran, we have an administration which has policies which demonstrably won't work for people that want to wake up in the morning where the world where America is gone. I think that's a problem.
Oh, Jim Carafano with us right now with the Heritage Foundation. I'm looking at a headline on Fox News as well. It says Hezbollah transporting chemical weapons to Lebanon with help of Iran and North Korea. You mentioned Russia. I mean, Russia, the word nuclear war in Russia, that's been discussed for months now. China, we've just discussed China and how they have no interest in a flourishing America, and they have a great interest in a diminished America. North Korea is sending missiles on a regular basis. It's almost a footnote now because it happens with such frequency. And now we see Iran getting to the point where a Biden administration's political pressure is what's stopping them from becoming a nuclear nation. This seems like a lot of a perfect storm, and where America needs strength and leadership in order to protect us and to keep our military safe. put those all together for me and tell me where America sits right now.
Well, I mean, so the good news is, at the end of the day, Russia, Iran, North Korea, China, none of them want to fight a war with the United States because that would be devastating. They all want to win without fighting. So the good news is they still fear America. They fear our economy. They fear what we can do. They fear how we can defend ourselves. Here's the bad news. I am sure that in all these capitals, they sit around these big mahogany tables, and all they do is they go, what can we do to take advantage of the fact that Joe Biden's president?
Wow. I mean, it seems to me like a lot of these countries, maybe not China, maybe, that there is some mutual destruction that could exist between their own countries and America that would be, in the minds of the leaders of these countries, a worthwhile endeavor.
What all these regimes have in common is their fundamental purpose is perpetuation of the regime. And so I think the only thing they really care about is themselves and their legacies. But so I just don't think they're going to risk World War III. But having said that, they'll do anything short of that if they think they can get away with it with Joe Biden. And here's the problem, which is, look, the guys that started World War I, even the guys that they didn't think they were starting World War I and World War II. They thought they were just trying to take advantage of the other guy. And that's how things really spin out of control. And when they do, and if they do, we're way better at killing people than we were in 1914. We're infinitely better at killing people than we were in 1945. If we have a war today, we're going to kill billions. So you don't have to worry about global warming because you will reduce the population of the Earth by probably 2/3 in mass death. And I'm not sure I would want to be a survivor. This is the seriousness of what we face in terms of not letting things spin out of control. And yet we have a president who's fixated on his climate scam. He's fixated on having 96 genders. He's fixated on making sure every community has the right to host a drag queen show. That's where his priorities are.
Jim Carafano, before we let you go, it's some bleak, hard truth. I think it's if America isn't awake to that, they need to hear it, because if they're not hearing it elsewhere and it shows up, they won't know what hit them. It's Thanksgiving week, and I have to imagine that this week, when you're sitting down at your Thanksgiving table, there will be things that you are grateful for. And I want to give you an opportunity before we wrap this up to talk to us about what does make you thankful.
Well, I have an amazing grandson who's 14 months old, and we have the Annie Frey show.
Oh.
What else do you need? Come on.
Happy Thanksgiving, Jim. Thanks for being here.
You too.
Bye-bye. Jim Carafano, Vice President for Foreign and Security Policy at the Heritage Foundation. That's almost like we planned it. I promise you we didn't. And I'm glad he mentioned his grandson first. His grandson was born almost right at the end of my maternity leave with Molly. So we kind of have him and Marc Cox. Marc Cox's grandson was born a month before Molly. So there's this like group of little babies that could potentially take on the world in about 25 years. I'm waiting to see what happens. It's the future, folks. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'm excited to play for you a Thanksgiving song. It's my favorite Thanksgiving song. Did you know that there are Thanksgiving songs? We've already heard from Johnny Cash and his amazing Thanksgiving song. When we come back, one from Ben Rector. We'll get Ryan Wiggins back in studio as well. Don't go anywhere. Lots to be thankful for, lots to discuss. Left here on the Annie Frey Show. Back in a minute.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
She's my treasure so very rare. She made me a millionaire.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
One of the things at Water Sweets Soap Company that I like so much is their shower bombs. Okay, everybody's heard of bath bombs. Not everybody takes baths. Certainly not everybody takes baths like Ryan Wiggins. In fact, nobody does, just Wiggins. If you know, you know. We'll maybe talk about that in a little bit. But a shower bomb, they have a eucalyptus shower bomb that I absolutely love, and I keep one on hand in my house for times where I get super stuffy and I need to have that kind of clarity about my sinuses. Put the shower bomb in the bottom of the shower, and that scent just comes up into the shower, and it is so nice, a natural way to try to get the sinuses cleared. Many other products at Water Sweet Soap Company I am a fan of and a customer of, and have been for years, long before I got to talk to you on the air about them here. You can go to watersweetssoap.com. That's watersweetssoap.com. Use the promo code Annie and save 10% on all of their products. If you go into their store, their O'Fallon stores to be opening before the end of November, so keep an eye open on that. I heard the sign just went up in O'Fallon. The signature body bar, the men's body bar, the shave bar, the men's fragrances, the women's fragrances, and my absolute favorite, the sugar scrub. For men and women, you will be so grateful for this extra moisturizing, locking in product that Water Sweet Soap Company has in the cold winter months. Go online to watersweetssoap.com.
Surprise!
Surprise!
You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
Brian Kilmeade here. I'm coming back to St. Louis December 9th at the Missouri Athletic Club for a Brian Kilmeade live event with my friends at 97.1 FM Talk. Enjoy a delicious filet dinner, cocktails, and we'll talk about my book, The President and Freedom Fighter, and all the news that consumes the headlines. Plus, everyone who attends will receive an autographed copy of my book, now out on paperback. For tickets, go to 971talk.com/events.
Brian Kilmeade Live is presented by Straight Realty.
I'm looking forward to seeing you December 9th.
For tickets, 971talk.com/events.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Tuesday afternoon, Missouri Congresswoman Ann Wagner will join me. Also, our weekly visit with Brian Kilmeade.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. The Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Familiar highways, lying with leaves turn brown.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Funny how this all looks different, but it feels the same. Like how life never stops changing, some things never change. So fill your plate and fill your drink and fill this house with family, the kind of love that all these years can't wash away. Cause the older that I get, I see that life is short and bittersweet. Thank God for this Thanksgiving Day. Watching football, watching families grow. The old kids' table, all have kids of their own. Starting to see my grandfather in my nephew's eyes. Mom still can't talk about him and I'd almost cry. So fill your plate and fill your drink and fill this house with family. The kind of love 1,000 miles can't wash away. Cause the older that I get, I see that life is short and bittersweet. Thank God for this Thanksgiving Day. put your dishes in the kitchen sink and let the leftover year just wash away. 'Cause we made it through, I do believe, the longest year in history. Thank God that it's Thanksgiving Day.
That is my favorite Thanksgiving song, and there aren't a lot. So that one beat out Turkey for Me, Turkey for You.
And Johnny Cash.
And Johnny Cash is a good one as well.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you have planned for the rest of the day.
Well, Hannah picked him, so it's
all
up
right,
to
Hannah.
But that one I wanted to play in its entirety. I love it. The part where he talks about starting to see my I can't even say it right now without getting teary.
Go ahead and try.
No. When it comes to seeing my grandpa and my nephew's eyes, Mom can't talk about him and not almost cry. Like, seriously, I'm getting choked up.
I can hear it.
I don't like it. Let's replay the Jim Carafano interview.
Yeah,
get me back in there. I don't know. I appreciate Thanksgiving in a really serious way, which is I'm probably ironic to a lot of people because I'm like super excited about Christmas. I have Christmas apparel that I've been staring at. Like, I spend time in my closet looking at, like, Annie, just wait. Don't do it yet. Don't pull out the light up Mickey sweatshirt yet. Leave the comfy Mickey or Christmas clothes in the closet until after Thanksgiving, and then I can bring it out. I have refrained. I love Christmas, but there's something super wholesome and quiet about Thanksgiving. It's like Christmas is all of that, but with so much more around it. Thanksgiving to me is all of the sentimentality of Christmas without all of the extra stuff, and I appreciate it.
It's the reflective nature of Thanksgiving. To me, Christmas is a celebration. It's a big party for the birth of Christ. But for Thanksgiving, it's a time to just kind of sit down and look at your life and look around the table and see all the goodness that God has given to you.
Yeah.
And to give thanks for it.
Unique holiday that we've declared a national holiday for gratitude. I don't know that has that ever been done in any other nation before?
No, every nation should have it.
I always love, and I'm not picking on you because I do this myself and I have to pull myself back, but it's like, only in America can you blah, blah, blah. And then someone's like, they literally do that in every other country. And I'm like, well, it's really American to be like, we do it the best, though.
We do, obviously.
Hannah, come in here. I have a gift for you, Hannah. Speaking of being grateful for people, I want to, in the 2 o'clock hour, I was going to message you guys this and I forgot to. First of all, Hannah, I have a cup of tea that I made for you. And it is a
cup of tea.
That's cup of tea. Sweet cinnamon, sweet cinnamon chai tea. You might not like it, but you're stuffy and you're not feeling great. I can't say on the air.
Making it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I can't say on the air what she said she felt like when I asked her earlier. It's not FCC approved.
I've got a dump button for
potty
that.
mouth word.
Yeah, but I made you some tea. You're not a tea drinker. What?
I'm just thinking, how do you feel? And she just unleashes a just load of cussing,
swearing.
Yeah,
tell us how you really feel.
Oh, okay.
You can, if you can take the tea bag out of there and throw it away if you want to. I think British people make fun of Americans for leaving their tea bags in the tea.
It kind of looks fancy if you leave it hanging over.
Well, you can
Darn
leave
right it does. Shows culture and class.
Yeah,
we do it better in America.
This is chai tea, which is black tea, cinnamon, and cardamom. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm, cardamom.
I think the best way to make tea is by throwing it in a harbor.
Go ahead. Make a joke.
I like it.
Do you like it? I told you would.
It smells amazing.
It does. I actually am thinking about making a cup of tea every day in here. I may drink it, I may not. It's just the aroma of it is so good.
Why have we not gotten to a point where we can technologically walk up to a machine and say, Earl Grey, hot, and it just makes it? But you have to say it with a British accent.
I was going to say, because it'd be like, what did you say?
That's the future.
We have D to the C
Star
in the
Trek
studio
told us.
right now. It has been a minute. Welcome back, D to the C. Tell me.
Greetings and salutations to everybody.
It's Thanksgiving week.
It is.
I was going to say on the Annie Frey Show, but in fact, it is also Thanksgiving week in other places than the Annie Frey Show.
But not outside of America. We learned that.
That's for sure. Okay, I want to talk about this in the 2 o'clock hour. First, I'm going to tell my story about the fast food restaurant experience that I had.
Oh, boy.
And I'm going to ask you what you would do and tell me if I was in the right or in the wrong. Or I have considered calling the owner of this establishment, and I will take advice from y'all in the 2 o'clock hour as to whether or not I should do that. But I also want to, at 2:25, I want us all to go around the room and talk about what we are thankful for with each other.
Okay.
This will be a struggle for you and me, Ryan.
Yeah.
We're going to have to be real about it.
Okay. I'll have to think about it.
I'm giving you an hour's heads up notice.
Okay.
D to the C, you have been a fun part of the Annie Frey Show this year. And for people who don't know this, D to the C is really the very foundational ground floor of how we got involved with Princess Storm's diaper drive. It started with you, D to the C.
Yeah, it did. You know what? I really came in here because I was listening as I was walking through the kitchen area.
Yeah.
I heard your voice, and I heard Thanksgiving, and I heard Christmas, and I thought, Rosie.
Yeah.
Just came to mind.
Either one who ate, my dog who ate. Oh, man, I did not think of that.
Thought for a second you just said D to the C ate your dog. It did sound like that.
It's not what I meant. I probably started 2 or 3 sentences at a time. They align that way. Last year, thanks for reminding me this. Jared will be really excited that you brought this up. Last year, I made an apple crumb pie, which is an arduous pie to make, and because there's like steps. You know how I don't know who bakes in here.
Levels to it.
Yes, you got to go through steps. It's not like a box cake where you're like zip, zap, zip, and you put it in the oven, and then there's your cake. You put some icing on it. And my husband took the pie out of the oven, and he just set it on the edge of the table, and the dog just went to town.
Oh, no.
On a portion of the pie, and I was hot about it. I was like, walk out of the room, Annie, because his parents were over. I think my parents were over there. And that nobody loves my husband. That's not true, but I was going to say more than my parents. But they are Team Jared all the way. Wow. Like, if there is a conflict between Annie and Jared, they're like, leave him alone. He's an amazing guy. And I'm like, I agree with that statement, but the dog ate my pie because it was on the edge of the counter. And my husband feels bad. And you know how it's like, in the midst of trying, there's stress. And stress can be good. You can have good stress. You can have bad stress. These holiday moments when everything is culminating and the pie gets eaten. I mean, maybe that's funny on like a random Saturday. It doesn't feel funny on Thanksgiving, like an hour before you're supposed to serve.
Yeah, the nice thing
meal.
is that instead of it just being the dog ate a pie, it was a Christmas story. You got a nice old 1940s style story out of it. Kids were out playing stickball. Dog came up and ate the pie. Wife had to run away. She was so mad. Love it.
That's exactly the story.
It's straight out of Beetlejuice.
Is that what happened? You said
No. That's the Ryan Wiggins version of the story, which means 20% of it is true. 40% of it is embellished.
Well,
And the other 40% is just bull crap.
I have a surprise for Rosie.
Ooh.
She gets her own bean pie.
We do need to do the bean pie.
Yes.
We've been talking about that now for a literal year.
Yes, a year.
We should make it here.
We can do it here. I think
Is bean pie a Thanksgiving pie? Is it a Christmas pie? Is it a holiday pie? Is it an anytime pie?
it's an anytime pie.
And you still stand by bean pie is good. Tastes
Absolutely.
good.
I love it.
You love it.
Mm-hmm.
The mere fact that
I don't know.
The
Can
mere
you
fact that
refresh?
Wiggins knows about Shabazz pies was a shocker to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I used to work on Kings Highway.
Well, there you have it. He
Should
was right
we
there at
get
the
one of
headquarters.
those, or should we make it?
You can't get them anywhere now. It's hard to get them. We did the search, and I was like, you know what? I'll just make them. It's easy. It's not hard. It's easy.
What is going to happen to my dog if she eats a whole bean pie?
Oh, you might want to
Probably
leave her
a good-
outside. Yeah,
Probably a good
She
deal.
get good
Gas,
cleansing. Yeah.
gas and diarrhea.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, you're welcome. I didn't want to hint at it,
It's my job. What are you thankful for? Ryan and his brutal honesty.
So, D to C, real quick, you are a chef. You love to cook. Are you making Thanksgiving meal this year?
We are.
And real quick, what is going into the Thanksgiving meal at D to the C's home?
We are doing some mixed greens with collards, turnips, and spinach. We are doing turkey, of course, dressing. I'm not doing the dressing. That I leave that to the better half because I don't have time to. I don't have the patience for the cornbread.
Yeah,
that's just not me. And when she does, baking soda and all that, I'm like, hey, hold on, wait a minute. It's a lot of stuff. Never mind. You do that.
Just enjoy it and compliment her on her.
Leave the mac and cheese to me. Leave the mac and cheese to the kid.
What goes in the mac and cheese?
Oh, well, this year, mac and cheese is going to be really good. So we start off with a roux of butter and flour.
Mm-hmm.
And then we add our heavy cream. And then we add our shredded cheddar and some Monterey. And we add our noodles. And we put all that in the pan. And then we top it off with some more cheese and bake it to goodness.
I thought you said bake it to goodness. I thought you were going to say bacon to goodness. Which could also work.
I've never added bacon, but you know what? I had beef bacon for the first time ever. This past weekend. Yeah.
D to the C, I'm going to recommend, you've probably had it before, but buffalo chicken mac and cheese, if you haven't,
that's
is
good.
Fantastic. It is a meal I could eat a few times a week if I had it.
Especially if it were free.
If it were free and it were in the building below us or in the business below us, I would eat a lot more.
For the record, Kevin Killeen, renowned, respected reporter at KMOX, who might be in the 50% who's heard of you.
Maybe now.
Maybe now. Saw me making the tea in the kitchen and goes, I just heard that Ryan Wiggins song. That was amazing. I go, oh, really? And he goes, yeah, I only heard half of it. And he goes, it was so bad it was good.
Ooh, doggone. I was about to say I really respect that journalist over there, Kevin Killeen.
He goes, was that about him losing free fried chicken? And I said, yeah. And then he's trying to get a KFC sponsorship out of it. And if he does get the KFC sponsorship out of it, I'm going to be ticked.
Man, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
You know what this all comes down to is Anna's skills. If she chooses to use that as content for a YouTube short on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, if she can make you look super good and maybe tag KFC in it, it's your best chance. It's all in Anna's hands.
Yeah.
Does she like you?
I think she has a deep respect for me. I don't know if but that's what I want. I don't necessarily want people to like me. I want people to respect me,
she has strong feelings about Ryan.
Yeah.
So what you just said there is exactly how I feel about myself. I don't need people to like me. I want people to respect me.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly not how you are. That is the opposite of how you are. You don't care if people respect you. You just really want people to like you and be nice to you and to have good relationships.
Well, as soon as this segment is over, I'm going to run over to KMOX and I'm going to tell Kevin Killeen, sorry if I said anything that offended you, but I just want you to like me.
No, yeah, Kevin Killeen, he went out of his way to compliment you on that piece. And I'll tell you what, Kevin Killeen, if you've heard him obviously reporting on KMOX, he is one funny dude.
Oh my gosh.
He is super
He's
funny.
so deadpan.
Yes. A la Steve Martin, kind of a vibe there. I
think
like
he
that.
writes their holiday show every year, too.
He's super talented. I think one day in this industry, he just might make it.
If he needs a letter
I'm waiting
of reference.
for his head to pop in this window just like D to the C's does. I love the shows that we do on days where people just poke their head and we're like, come on in,
it's
we got
so
nothing
loose.
else.
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
that's fine.
Bean pie is going to be on the menu for the Annie Frey Show. We have to do it this holiday season.
Absolutely. We'll
Keep
make
on
it
me.
work.
All right. And another sincere thank you to you for connecting us with our friends over at Hot, and the diaper drive that we did was so successful. We're going to be doing a food drive I'm going to be talking to you about at Ruler Foods coming up in December, and we need to have a big support from the Annie Frey Show audience, just like we did for the diaper drive. And we're going to continue and putting the pressure on the people here to help get us in the community to be a part of a solution. And D, you helped us help other people. We're grateful for that.
No doubt.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, more Annie Frey Show in just a minute. We're going to talk about the YouTube live chat poll. I'll tell it to you right now. You can go in the break and you can vote in the poll. We'll discuss this maybe a little bit when we return. Which Annie Frey Show member would you most like to have as your boss? This was a Ryan Wiggins suggestion.
No. Yeah. I don't want to skew the poll, though.
I don't think you are.
Okay, good.
I think that people probably have a definitive opinion on whether or not it is or isn't you. There are people who would just adore the opportunity to have you be their boss.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are those who possibly wouldn't.
Well, that's because I demand respect and not.
I was going to say, there are people out there who have never had to sort out a bowl of M&Ms.
Don't you really? Oh, yeah. Don't you really want a boss that just wants to be liked?
I don't know.
I might skew people for you.
I don't know.
Let's take a quick break. We'll discuss that when we come back. Then go ahead.
The old kids' table, all have kids up their own.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Mom still can't talk about him, and I'd almost cry. So fill your plate and fill your drink and fill this house with family. The kind of love 1,000 miles can't wash away. 'Cause the older that I get, I see that life is short and bittersweet. Thank God for this Thanksgiving Day.
Recent impacts with inflation, ongoing COVID concerns, and geopolitical conflict have us all and the markets on edge. Heisey Advisory Group understands the importance of having a customized strategy for retirement, especially during uncertain times, to help ensure these concerns don't have an impact on your retirement. Heisey Advisory Group is a St. Louis-based, family-owned and operated holistic retirement planning firm. Our team has defined a process that puts together all the pieces of the financial puzzle, working with all of your service providers to help develop an individualized plan that grows with you as your life changes and your needs evolve. If you're not confident that your retirement plan is on track to deliver the lifestyle you want amid historic levels of uncertainty, call us today at 314-328-6000. Again, that's 314-328-6000.
Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Having somebody in your corner when it comes to insurance, personally for your own auto, home insurance, but also commercially for your business, making sure that you have all of the coverage you need. It's really important to have somebody who you can reach out to anytime you have a change in the situation in your business, to people who need help with their small business continuation, and making sure that you are covered. You can be paying for a lot of insurance and not need all of that insurance. If you grow, you might need more insurance. And you want to have somebody who is able to monitor this on a regular basis. You're not going to sign up for a policy and then be an afterthought later on down the road. Laura Michael Insurance in St. Charles, Missouri, 25 years of experience, is there to help guide you through the process. And the great thing is once you sit down and you meet her and she does these personal one-on-one conversations with you, you are going to look forward to the opportunity to sit down with her again, because she's incredibly awesome at her job and she's fun to be around. And she is going to be sharp as a tack when it comes to making sure that you have exactly the amount of coverage that you need. Like I said, 25 years in the business for auto, home, life, and commercial insurance. Laura Michael Insurance is a solution that you have been waiting for. Online at Laura, MICHEL insurance.com. That's LauraMichaelInsurance.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from the GelmanTeam.com. If you want immediate cash for your home or to see what your home is actually worth in today's market, find out for free from the local experts. That's my friends Mark and Neil Gelman at the GelmanTeam.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling and Insulation Studio. Save up to $900 in utility rebates and see if you qualify for 0% financing on a new high-efficiency HVAC system. For details and to get into your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Filtering the BS pushed by the mainstream media.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk.
I've got plenty to be thankful for.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
I haven't got.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Still, I've got plenty to be thankful for. I've got plenty to be thankful for. No private car, no caviar, no carpet on my floor. Still, I've got plenty to be thankful for.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're grateful for you and the time that you have chosen to spend with us. Thanks for picking us this afternoon. To be on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis's home for conservative talk. We're glad that you feel at home here. We appreciate you. Our YouTube live chat poll on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Go give it a look-see. At this point in time, we got votes coming in and comments coming in. Hannah is setting these comments aside so we can give you the results at 2:45. Which Annie Frey Show member would you most like to have as your boss? This is a Ryan Wiggins suggested poll. And the options, of course, are Hannah, Brad, Ryan, or Annie. Do you want to, should we do this where, should we just advocate for ourselves? Or what we should do is we should say what kind of boss we would be. Or should we have other people say what kind of boss that person would be?
Well, I think we should probably each start with advocating for ourselves and let everybody else chime in.
Ryan, what kind of boss would you be?
I would be the kind of boss who you could easily manipulate. So you come to me one day and you say, hey, I got this great new idea. And I go, you know what? Let me think about that. And I really don't want to do it. But if you push hard enough, I'd just be like, I guess we got to do it because they really want to. So I would just kind of hope for the best. And you would get to do a lot of what you wanted to do.
Nick says this is a dangerous game. We all have thick skin. We're all okay with these. Just for the record. Yes. That's also true. But it was your idea.
What kind of boss would you be?
Pretty much what you just said there is accurate.
Yeah.
You're not gonna agree
as well. I would be a pretty good boss to have because I would put up the guardrails and you kind of drive wherever you want within them.
Where would the guardrails
I don't even
be?
know you'd have guardrails.
No.
The guardrails would be about a mile in each direction off the road.
I was going to say, Ryan, you know what we should do? Like, because you could go up to Ryan and be like, you know what we should do is we should drive off-road a little bit, get on the other side of those guardrails. And here's why. It'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be funny. And Ryan will be like, yeah.
Ryan is the type of person who, at least professionally, needs to know where the guardrails are so he can just step over them once.
Yep.
Well, once and again and again.
No, but I mean, like, not
never
far.
come back.
Not far over the guardrails. You just want to know where they are so that you can just stand on the other side like a toddler who's been told no.
Yeah, doggone it. That's really, really accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not just professionally. That is the way I have lived 41 years on this earth. I've told professors that in college. I'm like, I don't really care what your rules are, but I need to know them because I want to walk right up to them.
Oh, Ryan.
You definitely crossed the line, though.
This is like super accurate.
I do, but
And
just for fun.
For
just,
you.
Just to see.
Fun for you.
Yes, just for me.
Like the child where you're like, don't touch that.
Hannah,
And he's
what,
like-
what kind of boss would you be?
Passionate. I would be passionate. I feel like a lot of people think like I'm really easygoing, but if I really care about something, I hyper focus on it. And
Hannah is super competitive. I think we know this.
Mm-hmm.
I am competitive.
You are super competitive, and that as a boss shows me that you would like whatever you're being the boss for, that you would want to position yourself and your team in a way that would succeed and win. And I like that. So I appreciate that. And I think that you're able to say, this is not working. We need to do that. And I like that. So,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Ryan, what would Hannah be like as a boss? I think maybe we could try it out. She could just be your boss for a week.
Yeah, I think I would like to try that.
Like life boss about anything.
Boss baby. I think she would be surprisingly tyrannical.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just spitballing here, but that's what comes to mind first.
Okay. Brad, what do you think about Hannah?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, tyrannical?
Not tyrannical, but I think she would be there like,
Here's
like
Brad
if you're
saying
not
it in
getting
the
your
nice
stuff,
way.
if you're not going to get your stuff done, I ain't got time for you.
A little Karen-y?
Oh, maybe.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Never.
She'll have a vision of where we're going. She'll tell you nicely, and then after you're not listening to her, whenever she tells you nicely, then she's going to tell you firmly.
Directly.
And then after that, she's not going to tell you anymore.
Then she kills you.
And then I'll do it.
And then when she does it,
right in the neck.
Brad, what kind of boss would you be?
So I'm the kind of person where I have a very strong vision of where I think something should go. Very particular on things. Things should have. There's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. I'm thinking back to my lawn mowing business, because you're putting your name on whatever it is you do.
It matters.
It absolutely matters. And even if all it is a lawn business where you're cutting 15 or 20 yards or whatever.
Still matters.
It matters because it's your name. It's you that's on that. And so whenever I had people come and work for me or help me out or whatever, I wasn't the kind of person who I was watching over their shoulders, but I would make the expectations clear. Would you put your name on this when you're done? If somebody walked by and said, man, I wonder who cut that yard, would they be like, man, I wonder who cut that yard? Or man, I wonder who cut that yard. Would you be proud to put your name on it?
Mm-hmm.
And so I give people the latitude to do what they need to do in the way that they need to do it, as long as the job's done on time and correctly. And I'm not the kind of person that's going to come after you and say, hey, you did this wrong. I'm going to fix your problem that you made. And whenever I realize that I'm having to do it, you have become redundant and are no longer needed.
Ooh. Ryan?
Like a Twitter employee.
Bye.
I'm a little Elon Musky in that sense.
Ryan, what would Brad be like as a boss? You work with him a lot.
Yeah, I'm just spitballing here, but I would say surprisingly tyrannical.
You just want to win the poll.
Ryan just feels like everybody's tyrannical. They won't let me step over the guardrails. Well, the guardrails are there for a reason, Ryan.
Actually, I think he'd be really good.
Yeah.
He's going to be my suggestion to pick. Except that I want to win, so we'd have a lot more fun if I was your boss.
Ryan, I love you, but I need you to stop talking.
No,
right
I'm not
now.
going to. No, I think actually Brad would be really good and very fair. Brad, one thing that he is good at that not a lot of people can do well is always just kind of telling you where he's at with you. And he's good at that. That's a characteristic I think is good in a boss.
Does he tell you that a lot?
Yeah.
Do you have that conversation?
It's usually a tough conversation.
For you?
For me, yeah. Yeah, I need to tell you where we're at, right?
I think Brad would be the best type of boss. He is passionate, but he lets you do your own thing. And yeah, I think you'd be the best type of boss.
Well, if I hired you, that means that I trust you to do what I trust my process in hiring you to know that you have the ability to do what I'm asking you to do. And so I'm not going to micromanage.
We should each fill out like a dating profile for being your boss. And I'll be.
You're not supposed to date your boss.
Yeah, Ryan.
I'm not saying you should.
Are you wanting to date Brad? I must have Brian.
No.
We already know. If you want to vote in this poll, go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Which AFS show member would you most like to have as your boss? Brad, Ryan, Hannah, or Annie? Go vote. Leave a comment if you so choose. Hannah is starring them. I specifically sought Brad out to be the executive producer of the show, and in some way, shape, and form, that is kind of the boss of the show. So that is my endorsement for Brad as a boss. As far as what I would be like as a boss, I have high expectations, and I have the same rules for my 5th grade volleyball team and my 5th, 6th grade basketball team that I have here is just try your hardest. And your output, I actually think that most people don't know how much they can achieve, because you're usually, if you set the expectations, it goes back to the Elon Musk things, like, what do we have to do? And then you go do that. That is, that limits to me people's ability to achieve how big they can achieve. And I like to think big. I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas, and they come fast and they don't all get done. And that's probably hard to work with on a regular basis. Sorry, team. But I think it's incredibly important to have a team and to equip said team with responsibilities to make the product bigger than just the boss. So if my name is on this show, it's important for everybody who's listening to the show to understand that the show is a product of everybody who's a part of it. And while I do have expectations for the people on this show to perform and to produce, literally, it's their production that actually makes the show the listenable, entertaining show that I hope that it is for you. You guys want to roast me when we come back?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Surprisingly tyrannical is what you're going to hear.
We're going to do that, and then I'm going to go into what happened to the fast food situation that didn't go the way I thought it should go.
That'll be good.
The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Vote in the live chat section of who you would pick to be your boss out of this whole crew. And leave a comment if you want. Hannah's watching them. We'll have that discussion and the fast food story from this weekend when we come back.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, Tom's nephew. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible? to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Well, this and tomorrow are the best night of the year to go out to eat because you don't have to prepare anything. You don't have to clean anything up. So I highly suggest you go to Andrea's restaurant tonight and tomorrow. They're closed for Thanksgiving, of course, but that's because everybody else is too. If you go there on tonight or tomorrow, I think you're going to find some unique menu items. You're going to love the atmosphere there. They have live music, classical guitar, just kind of sets the ambient for the night. And you will enjoy some specific menu items that I don't think they usually have there. Think about this: chocolate chip cookie and milk cake. If that sounds good, go to Andrea's Steakhouse because it's probably something that you'll never have again. They make very unique items for nights like this. So check them out. They're in O'Fallon, Fairview Heights, Illinois. Such a unique restaurant. You'll see on the wall that they win Best Steakhouse basically every single year in St. Louis, so you need to visit them. They're just across the river, easy to get to off of Highway 64, Andreas.com.
KFTK FM Florissant.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group.
97.1 FM Talk.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Former President Trump loses a long legal fight. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The U.S. Supreme Court just refusing to block the handover of Trump tax returns to a congressional committee after a 3-year battle. Lawyers for the former president have argued the committee's request is politically motivated. Multiple Trump-related court fights continue, though. The Justice Department urging a federal appeals court today to end Judge Raymond Deary's independent review of documents seized from Trump's Florida home.
The DOJ says it has caused an unnecessary delay. Prosecutors, as of now, only have access to some of the documents marked with high security. They want to see much more of what the FBI recovered from Mar-a-Lago. For that to happen, Judge Deary's role must be ended.
Fox's Gernal Scott, the U.S. Attorney General, appointed a special counsel last week in part to oversee that Mar-a-Lago probe. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce now urging Congress to intervene in a contract dispute that could lead to a crippling freight rail strike now that 4 of the 12 rail unions have rejected the tentative deal announced in September.
We are calling on all parties to come together and resolve this.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says the president and labor secretary are directly involved. Quality of life issues, including paid sick time, are said to be the main sticking points. 8 people remain hospitalized after yesterday's SUV crash into an Apple store in Massachusetts. The driver appearing in court earlier today, charged with reckless homicide with a motor vehicle.
Bradley Rain is being held on $100,000 bail following an initial appearance in court. Judge Heather Bradley said Rain isn't allowed to leave the state without permission from the court.
I am going to order that he is not to operate a motor vehicle while this case is pending.
Some of those who were hurt in the crash sustained life-threatening injuries.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, 1 man was killed. America is listening to Fox News.
Moments like seeing my son's team cheer him on mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Light winds and delightful temperatures going through this Tuesday afternoon. The sky full of sunshine. Tonight, clear skies, 32 for the overnight low. Evening temperatures will drop out of the 50s. Then on Wednesday, sunny, 59, 60. Thursday, Thanksgiving, clouds dominate. A little bit of sunshine, just a little chance of a sprinkle or a brief shower. It's dry for the most part. 52. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Vitae Foundation is doing the good work that we all need to participate in one way or the other. If your issue, if your concern, if your heartache is for the people who are dealing with unplanned pregnancies, and understanding that in order to be a part of the solution, we have to be focused on these women and support these women and help these women who are in this situation to choose life for their unborn child. Partner up with Vitae Foundation. You can go to adsforlife.org. That's adsforlife.org and donate there. Donate $9.71 today. I know that in a week from today will be Giving Tuesday. Lots of people doing shopping on Friday, of course, for Black Friday. Saturday, Shop Small Business Saturday. Tuesday is where we think about where we can put those extra dollars that we have. Even if they're smaller this year, you still need to consider Vitae Foundation to be where you can put your heartfelt donation this end of season. So go to adsforlife.org and be a part of helping these women choose life. adsforlife.org.
Hi, my name is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. In honor of our newest location in Cottleville, for any new customers, simply come into any of our 6 locations and ask us to pay the first $50, and we will. That's right. That means brakes, suspension, alignments, air conditioning, even our auto body work. Please come see our team or visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Give the gift that's hard to wrap, but easy to give. The Steel Holiday Gift Guide has outdoor power tools and more for everyone on your list. Visit your local Steel dealer or go online to stihlusa.com/gift guide.
The federal government is hiring 87,000 new IRS enforcement agents. Make no mistake, with spending out of control, they're looking to collect revenue. The first target will be you. If you have not paid your taxes or filed them in years, let me help you get that target off your back. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm here in St. Louis. So if you have unfiled returns, wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm before the IRS calls you. Your consultation is free, so don't put it off. The Lance Drury Law Firm focuses solely on tax resolution law. It's all we do. And if you have IRS problems, you have legal problems. Let us use our tax law resolution experience to guide you and work on your custom resolution plan. Call now. It's free and confidential. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, this is Hannah Gibbs, Associate Producer for The Annie Frey Show, and this year I am thankful for my 97.1 family.
From all of us at 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Tuesday of Thanksgiving week. We're happy that you're here, and we are thankful for you. So we have a YouTube live chat poll today. I'm going to tell a story in a minute about that I've been kind of teasing throughout the show about an experience I had, and I want to know what you guys would have done in this situation. So get on the YouTube live chat if you want to. You can react to this, but you can also vote in the poll today and leave your comments regarding the poll. Which Annie Frey Show member would you most like to have as your boss? Brad, Ryan, Hannah, or myself? And before we went to break, I was talking about what kind of boss I would be. And just to reset the table a bit, and I haven't given these guys the opportunity. I could just leave it at that and just not let you guys comment. But I don't think that would be fair since we all got to comment on each other. I was saying as a boss, I would be somebody who has, I set high expectations. I think that my expectations are realistic, but they definitely are high. And I don't look at the people who I'm working with and judge them based on whether or not they meet my expectations of like what the goal is. It has a lot to do with how much effort are they putting in, how are they applying what they bring to the table, the skills that they have, the ideas that they have. How do they bring that to the table, and how much are they all in? Because if you're all in, I was relating this to coaching youth sports, that my goal for them is always that they try their hardest. You can't expect somebody to go out there and perform in a way that is unattainable. And I think that has this, that's the same thing in work, that you need to be able to go in and you need to give it your best shot. And of course in radio, which I also talked about earlier in the show, when we were talking about the people who do work in life and death situations here at a radio station, if we fail, nobody dies. We don't want to fail, but at times if you give it your best effort or if something slips through the cracks, there's no crisis really that happens. You just got to pick it up and keep moving the ball down the field. So I would say that's the kind of boss that I am. I really like to see people around me succeed. And I really think that in an effort for this show specifically, to make this show as successful as we possibly can, that I cannot, my name is on the show, but I cannot do it by myself. I need people around me to want to buy into it and to contribute to it in ways that they can, that I cannot. Like Ryan Wiggins, for instance. I can't do what Ryan Wiggins does. I need him to do that.
Very few people can.
You're not giving yourself enough credit. Nobody can do what you can do.
To use your sports analogy, some people can jump really high. Some people have tiny little chicken legs. I do not. I have beautiful legs, and I can jump high, and I can do everything.
And that's the kind of manager I would be.
And you've allowed me to do that.
Yeah.
Here on this show, in this space.
Yeah. The chicken legs part especially.
That's what I want to stick from
all
that
Ryan
comment.
wants to do is talk about chicken today.
I want people who are especially watching the YouTube
Do you
live
want to just
right now.
talk directly to KFC right now?
No.
Do you want to just, in case they didn't understand that you did an entire segment in song pleading with KFC to continue to provide you with free chicken?
Here's the thing. It's really not about KFC so much as it about any restaurant that wants to give me free food continuously is fine. It's completely fine. KFC, if you want to do it, great. I will love you back.
I didn't realize that you could broaden the shame. But here we are. Yeah. Is that all you want to say about me? We brought this back. So, I mean, I don't want to hold you back in your opportunity to.
Right, say something about Annie. Okay, well, if I had to describe myself, I'd say that I'm a great
athlete. Is there a way I
athlete.
can get free food about this? Brad? I think Ryan doesn't care.
Ryan's done.
Yeah. No, I have some thoughts, but I want you guys to go first.
I love you, but I need you to stop talking right now.
Okay, thank you.
It's the third time that's been said on the
All
show
right,
today, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to say it every time it needs to be said, too. Annie, I think one of the things, and maybe you kind of touched on this a little bit, one of the things that you do really well is you identify people's strengths, and then you put those people in positions to succeed. And then when they succeed, you make sure that they get to take the victory lap whenever they do succeed.
That's nice to say.
So that's one of the
things. I wish you would have
things.
gone after Ryan.
I did go after
I know.
Ryan.
He says he's going to let you guys go, and then he's going to weigh in still.
Yeah, I'm going to tear you down with a hatchet.
I don't think you know which end to swing.
That was quick, man. Good job.
It happens every now and then.
Your joke has been approved by Wiggins. How do you feel?
Wow.
Maybe I've just been holding back because I don't want to come off as mean.
Yeah.
But like I said, you identify people's strengths, you put them in a position to succeed, and that's valuable as because that's one of the main roles of leadership and one of the main roles as a boss. And so that's one thing that I would add to what you said.
Well, thank you.
But you are also very, very, very particular.
It's true.
That is true.
I can't disagree with that.
Well, I can't top that response, so.
You want to talk about Ryan?
I don't even know a summary for Ryan's petition to be the boss. But Annie is passionate like I am. She's
Loves
competitive
music.
like I am.
Remember, not the dating profiles you wanted to do.
Long walks on
And
the beach.
Annie would also be a great boss. Basically, anybody would be a good boss in here except Ryan.
Because I'd be a great boss. Is that what you mean?
No.
Oh. Okay, Ryan. Let me have it.
I have been on this show with you the longest now. I think it's over 3 years now that I have been on the show with you.
Feels like more.
Feels like forever, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wonder why.
And
Every day.
I have this is for real. I have watched you change as a host and as a person and grow from being somebody who at the time that I came on, you had not had the show for that long. You had been on for
When did
not
you
even,
come on the show?
It was September of 2019.
19? So I've been out there 18 months. Not quite.
In this spot you've been here 18 months?
I started April 2018.
Okay. So I think watching
You would come in on the show, but you didn't have the role on the show until September 2019.
I wasn't officially a part of the show.
But you were
until then.
around.
But yes. So we knew each other. But I've watched you move from being somebody who was, I think, trying to figure out how to do the Annie Frey show because you were still kind of figuring that out on a daily basis. You had done it on the weekends for a long time, but as I know,
To become a militant witch.
moving from weekend to daily is a pretty big jump. You got to come up with a lot more content. And so watching you figure out how you wanted to run a show, the topics that you wanted to cover, the way you wanted to do it, it has evolved a lot in the last 3 years that I've been here. And watching you still know this is what I'll say this is impressive. Watching you
can't
figure
even
out.
get it out.
No, I'm choked up. I'm crying. These are tears. I thought I'd call these throat tears.
Uh-huh.
There they are
boy.
again.
It's actually just congestion.
Figuring out how to still run the show that you're trying to achieve, the Annie Frey show, but allowing everybody to walk into roles and kind of blossom in those roles. And I think you've done a tremendous job at it. So I'm just telling you that.
Especially your role.
And exactly. And the best thing is that here's what I love giving Annie a genuine compliment is because she doesn't know what to do. We got like 4 or 5 minutes left in the segment, and she's gonna go, I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to do now.
That's my favorite type of radio.
Oh.
Okay, take it away, Annie.
I don't like it.
Exactly. That's why I like doing it.
Say mean things now.
No, I think you're a terrific person.
Are you going to say the mean things off the air?
No.
Say them inside your head
This
right
is
now?
kind of the mean thing. He's making you feel uncomfortable by giving you compliments.
Yeah,
It's
like setting guardrails and saying, where are they? Okay, right here. I will step over them.
It's saying, oh, you expect me to go to the guardrails? I'm going to drive right down the middle of the road. Yeah. What are you going to do with
and
that?
everybody's just on the edge of the seat waiting for you to run to the
What's gonna
guardrail.
happen? Yeah, exactly. That's a genuine compliment. So take it for what it's worth. Clip it, keep it.
You think these are going to be my daily affirmations? You want me to print this out and put it on my refrigerator?
I do.
It's like, I'm not feeling great today. What I need is Wiggins compliments.
You guys want to hear my fast food story?
Yes.
Yes.
I hate you.
Take it or leave it.
Not really. I could be bored.
Be fine doing whatever.
All right, maybe I won't tell it.
That's fine with me.
Okay,
like I
then
said,
I won't.
You don't.
You can't deprive the people to spite Wiggins. You can't do that.
Yeah, I can call your bluff on this one. I just sit here and listen to nothing. You're not talking? I ain't talking.
Oh, enough. Tell his story, Annie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We have to talk like every 6 seconds or alarms go off.
Becky and Trish are going to come running down here like, what's going on? It's like, we're having a standoff.
Having a quiet off on the radio.
Playing the quiet game. Shh. Annie and Ryan are serious about it.
There are times that I can't believe this is what I do. For a
There are
living.
times that I can't believe this is what you do either. All right, let's take a break.
Yes! Oh, yeah! Sweet. I straight up called that bluff. I win.
How do you win?
I said I didn't want to hear the story.
It's like the little kid from Big Daddy. I win. Why? Because I win.
Because I win.
This is the second time we referred to him as a small child in the show. I think we were correct both times. We'll discuss on the break whether or not we tell the story or not, and I don't really know
You
if I...
owe the story. It's just a matter of, do I participate?
I can make you stand outside the door.
That's fine.
And
I'll
look
do that.
in like an animal. If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
That one from Up.
Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin. That one.
The girl. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Simple, bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Bare necessities. That's why a bear can rest.
Follow Annie on Twitter
Just the
at
bare
Annie Frey Show.
necessities of life. Now, when you pick a pawpaw,
Kenny May with special guests Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann.
Well, there was so much competition there behind the scenes and the shows, and there was a lot going on, Kenny. Now it's revisionist history where people look back and go, oh, you guys must have been treated like kings and
Like all the ones who were guillotined in France.
Yeah.
Download and subscribe to Hey Maine, available on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Foley Dental Group online at foleydentalgroup.com, located in their brand new beautiful building on 270 and 159. It's easy to get to from both sides of the river. If you are seeking out the top dental care that is going to work with you in a whole health approach, it's at Foley Dental Group. Call to schedule an appointment today. They are taking new patients at 618-288-9670. That's 618-288-9670. They provide a positive patient experience is the top priority of this new space that they designed. They work to make sure that you are incredibly comfortable and at ease when you are receiving your dental care. When you go to Foley Dental Group, you can see them for just a general cleaning if you want to have a new dentist. But if you have issues with your mouth that haven't been taken care of before, or even if you just haven't sought out dental care in a long time and you maybe have been embarrassed about it and you're trying to figure out where to go, the answer is Foley Dental Group. They will never judge you. They will always help you. And like I said, they give you that whole health approach right there in your dental visit. 618-288-9670. You can find them online right now at foleydentalgroup.com.
Brian Kilmeade here. I'm coming back to St. Louis December 9th at the Missouri Athletic Club for a Brian Kilmeade live event with my friends at 97.1 FM Talk. Enjoy a delicious filet dinner, cocktails, and we'll talk about my book, The President Freedom Fighter, and all the news that consumes the headlines. Plus, everyone who attends will receive an autographed copy of my book, now out on paperback. For tickets, go to 971talk.com/events.
Brian Kilmeade Live is presented by Straight Realty.
I'm looking forward to seeing you December 9th.
For tickets, 971talk.com/events.
Why is Genesis of St. Charles the best kept secret in car buying in St. Louis? Well, it's because they're inside the St. Charles Hyundai showroom. They are a luxury brand automobile that you can get for way cheaper than you thought. So check them out at genesisofstcharles.com. That's where you start. See the models, but then you can drive them as people are throwing things at me while I'm talking. I'm not kidding, but I'm still talking about Genesis of St. Charles. You can get cars, luxury cars, young luxury at MSRP at Genesis of St. Charles. That's right. They are the only place where you can go in and know exactly what you're paying. You don't have to go back and forth with the boss. You don't have to waste a whole bunch of time. Genesis of St. Charles, they do it right, and that is why they are the best kept secret you're going to hear about in car buying. If you're in that mode right now, check them out. Here's where they're located, inside the St. Charles Hyundai showroom, and they don't have the building yet, so that's why when you walk in, you're going to know, oh, I'm walking into Genesis of St. Charles because they're inside the Hyundai showroom. They're part of the St. Charles Automotive Campus, just a quarter mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall on Veterans Memorial Parkway. Check them out. I'm going to be there tomorrow, actually. Online, genesisofstcharles.com.
Second Amendment Radio is a staple of solid firearm information on 97.1 every weekend. Saturday from 3 to 4 and Sunday from noon to 1. It's Second Amendment Radio and the great outdoors. 97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I think I probably owe you this, Ryan Wiggins. Tell us a little bit more about why you're going to be at Genesis tomorrow. When?
I'm going to be there tomorrow. So right now they're operating outside or inside the St. Charles Hyundai showroom, but they are going to be breaking ground on a brand new building. And part of that is because you guys have responded and so many people are checking out Genesis just from hearing them on 97.1. So thank you for that. Because of you, because of everyone who's listening. When I say you, I'm not talking to you. Talking to you through the radio. I'm breaking the fourth wall.
If you say I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to you. You can't point at me.
I can.
When you say you and
I can.
have the
Watch
people,
my hand motions.
But you can't have the people on the other side of the speaker go, "What you is he talking about?" Because you gotta articulate that.
Watch me. I'm coming through the radio. I'm sitting in your car right now, and I'm just putting my arm around you saying, "Thanks, buddy. Thanks for
Totally
listening."
something creepy that Ryan Wiggins would do.
Thanks for listening to me talk about Genesis of St. Charles. That's been a great relationship. I'm going out to see them tomorrow because of that groundbreaking. And actually, I don't even know if I was supposed to announce that, but that's what's happening. And so
great for me to make you say it twice. Sorry.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, I think it's okay. But everybody's very excited about it, and so I'm going to be out there just because it's kind of a big deal. Mayor's going to be out there and stuff.
All right. Well, I wanted to give you that opportunity because you know I care.
Clearly you care.
Right.
You were throwing paper clips in my eyes
I didn't hit your
while
eye.
I was reading that live.
They were deflected.
There was somebody said pillow, just for clarification. What happened was Hannah took the rag that we used to wipe off the X's and O's board and threw it into my face and microphone.
Oh, that was a better one.
While I was talking, yet somehow I soldiered on. And it's because I'm a professional. All I did was just make one little fart noise to Annie during her live, and she didn't even hear it.
Yeah, I didn't hear it
And that's what I
either.
get back. I don't think that's very fair.
You're such a baby.
You guys are literally throwing paper airplanes at me right now. You're folding them to throw at me.
If it makes you feel any better, I made that paper airplane in about 8 seconds, and it was terrible.
It doesn't.
You know who should feel bad is the ceiling because it hit it every time it was thrown.
My paper airplane?
Yes. Just straight up, bang.
How does the ceiling feel about that?
I don't know. Probably a lot like Ryan. A little less whiny, though.
Are you putting anthropomorphism onto the ceiling?
Say that again?
Anthropomorphism.
I think I screwed up that piece of paper. All right, you want to hear my story?
I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
The people want to hear it.
Turn Ryan's mic off. He doesn't get to weigh in.
Okay.
So I'm leaving names out because I don't want to call anybody out specifically. But I said earlier, we were in a mad dash of basketball this weekend. On Friday, we had a 4:30 game in Collinsville and a 7:15 game in Nashville, Illinois. On our ride back from Nashville, Illinois, nobody had eaten dinner yet. So we needed to stop and get food. We decided to pass up on the McDonald's in Nashville because we just didn't want to have McDonald's. So we're driving home on, is that 64?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's way less obnoxious. Thank you for turning to So we're driving home. We pull in the drive-thru of this fast food restaurant, and we order food. It's 8:56. We pull in. All the lights are on. My husband goes to start making the order in the fast food lane, and they start taking our order. So clearly they're open, right? It's 8:56. We have 6 people in our car, and I don't know what it's like in Ryan Wiggins' car, and we'll never know. But with 6 people in the car and going through, you want chicken fingers, you want a cheeseburger, do you want a hot dog, what do you want, blah, blah, blah. You go through and you're asking people what they want. Should we know that ahead of time? Maybe, but it's just not that easy because you're like driving down the highway and you're trying to figure out where you're going to stop. If there's a place, you see a place, you pull off, and then you make your decisions on what you're going to eat. And so 8:56, we're ordering. And there was one car in front of us that was at the window up there. We get behind that car after we finish ordering, taking a minute to get all the orders in. And we pull up to the window, and my husband goes to give his debit card to the guy who's at the window. And my husband, this is who Jared is, and if you know him, you know this is who he is. He's like, "Hey, I'm sorry about taking up so much time to make that order. We got 4 kids in the car, and we've been at basketball games, and we're sorry that we took so long." And the guy's response is, "Well, you did keep us past close." And then he took the card to run the card, and I looked at the clock. It was 9:02 p.m. So obviously
they close at 9.
They close at 9. We ordered it at 8:56 because I looked at when we pulled up, I looked at the clock because I thought maybe they would be closed. There are a lot of places that would close at 8 o'clock right now post-COVID. So my husband generously apologizes for not pulling up and ordering like an ice cream and going. Like that. It's not simple. It's not fast. There's 6 people. Our bill was $60-something at this fast food restaurant. So we were a lucrative drive-through order for the business. He apologizes. The guy takes his card and he said, "Well, you did keep us past close." And so then he goes to run the card. And my husband just slowly turns and looks at me, and I kind of do that thing where I look at him and half smile and kind of pull my head back a little bit, like, "Whoa, what was that?" So then he opens the window, goes to hand the card back to my husband, and he goes, "Would you like your receipt?" And my husband's like, "No, we don't." I'm like, "Yeah, we would like to have the receipt." And he's like, "Okay." So he hands us the receipt because it's just a button push and whatever. So I get the receipt, and then he brings out the drinks. So he's handing these drinks back. Well, my 2 oldest kids get a meal that's like a grown person's meal, and my 2 youngest kids get a kid's meal. They order Powerades because both of them had basketball games. We're like, okay, fine, you can, because normally we would do water or milk for them. And I end up getting 2 kids' meal size Powerades and 1 regular meal size Powerade, which means that I now have to pick one of my big kids who's not going to get a big kid drink. And if you know what it's like to have a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old and one of them gets a big drink and one of them doesn't, it just doesn't work that way. Plus, I did pay for the drinks to be a specific size, so I am technically entitled to correct that. But they also sent out the 2 diet sodas that my husband and I got, and we ordered larges and we got mediums. And my husband looks at me and he's like, "I don't think this is right." I go, "No, we ordered larges." I said, "Well, let me look at the receipt," because this guy's already indicated, "I got no time for you." I said, "Let me look at the receipt. If we paid for it, I'll ask for the correct thing. If he didn't charge us the upcharge for the large drinks, we'll just let it go." Well, no, we did pay for it. It was an extra like 20 cents or 40 cents or something like that. So he opens the window, I think to give us straws or something like that. And I said, so I lean across my husband because my husband is not the confrontational, and he will say something, but he is also much more likely to just whatever. And I'm like, "Well, we paid for it. We should get the right thing here." So I said, "Sir, these 2 diet sodas, we did order larges, and I think these are mediums." And he goes, and he looks at his screen in his fast food window thing, and then he looks at me, and then he looks at his screen and he goes, "Yeah, I see I made a mistake. I can fix that for you." And I said, "Okay, thank you." And I said, "Also, we have these 2 drinks that are kid size. One of them's for a kid's meal, but one of them is actually supposed to be for," I'm trying not to give away all the details of where we were at. One of them was for the full-size meal. And I said, "I have one of each size, and I need this one to be like this one because I've got them for 2 kids in the back." And so he looks at me, and then he looks at his screen and goes, "Yeah, I made a mistake on that too. I can fix that." And I said, "Okay." I said, and I put those drinks in the cup holder. I said, "Would you like to have these back since you're replacing them?" Because sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, just keep those." And sometimes they want them back. And I wanted to offer to give them back as a courtesy to not be like, "I'm not trying to take you for anything here. Would you like to have these back?" And he's like, "Yeah, we'll take those back." So he takes them back in, which is fine, whatever. So then he comes back and he hands us the bigger Powerade. I hand that back so the kids have their square. And he hands us back the diet sodas. And it's a large soda. And this place has crushed ice. And he has filled the large soda to the lid. You could see the ice touching the lid on the large soda all the way to the top on both of them. I could not even get my straw to the bottom of the soda cup. in the large cup when he replaced the mediums. Is that standard?
No.
I don't think so.
No. I can tell you from experience that's not standard. Also, I'm enjoying watching Hannah as you tell this story because she's got a tick.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says
It's
that she does that, and then when she does she does this.
She's handling it.
I'm listening.
So, like, I get the sodas, and it's incredibly heavy.
Was just your drink like that, or was everybody's?
Just the two large
Just the
sodas,
diet.
not the Powerade.
Okay.
So I get the soda. I'm like, holy crap, these are heavy. And I go to put the straw in, and I can't
can't
get
get
the
it
straw. Although I can't get it in.
Why didn't they just don't they put the lid on for you usually at those places too? I mean, that's
the lid was
no
on
the
it.
straw.
Oh, okay.
I can't.
The lid's on. You're getting the straw.
If I
in it.
said
Gotcha.
if I said that
Okay.
wrong, yeah, I get the sodas. They feel really heavy, and I go to put the straw in, and I cannot get the straw through the ice all the way down. So they replaced my medium sodas, which were normal, with the large sodas that I paid for, that I
Full of
asked,
ice.
and they filled it literally from the bottom of the cup, obviously, all the way to the top, so that the crushed ice in the soda was touching the lid. And I open the soda up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And now I'm like, I'm not happy. I'm annoyed because like that's not standard. Obviously, that's not standard. And this is like he made a decision.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, it's not accidental.
No, because none of the other cups that we had gotten were filled that way. But the larges that I did pay for, and I mean, I'm telling you that I have been exceedingly polite and nice, and all I have done is ask for what I paid for at this point in time. I asked for the receipt, which I did politely, and I asked for the drinks that I paid for that they did not give us. And so then the food starts coming out. He's handing the food out, and I said to Jared, I go, I got to say something about this. These cups.
Okay.
And he's like, he just goes, oh. And I go, this is ridiculous. I said, the way he talked to you, when you apologized, you didn't owe him an apology, but it was nice of you to say that. You didn't owe him. For him to come out the window and say, all he said back was, well, you kept us past close. It was 9:02. You were not out the door at 9:02. And we just spent like $65 at your overpriced fast food restaurant. I get that that's not like an ideal situation when you're closing, but if you're open and you're taking orders, provide the service that you're there for. Like, I'm not here to ruin your night. So I just said to him, I said, sir, can I ask you a question? And he just looked at me, and I took the lid off. I go, is it customary on a large soda with this crushed ice to fill it to the lid before you put soda in? He goes, yes, it's customary that we put more ice in our large cups than our medium cups. And I go, okay, but is it customary that for the large cups that you fill it all the way to the top with ice? And he repeated the same thing again. I said, sir, I understand what you're saying. You're saying you put more ice in your large cups than you do your medium cups. I said, but is this specific cup, which obviously has more ice in it than your medium cup, is this the standard way that you fill these cups with ice? And he says, that's actually about the same amount of ice that we would put in our medium cup. And I said, hold on a second.
Oh, this is getting good. I love
so
where this is
I took one of the medium cups of soda that before I had returned it to him, and I dumped it out my window, and I took the ice and I outside my window, and I poured the large cup of ice into the medium cup, and it was heaping
It was like a snow cone.
over the top, and it was falling out all over. And I said, this is a little more ice than you would put in a medium cup, right? And he's like, well, yeah, that looks like there's more ice in that large cup. I said, all I'm asking here is for what I paid for. I said, we bought the large sodas. You didn't give them to us first. That's fine. That's understanding. I checked the receipt. I wouldn't have said anything if we wouldn't have paid for it. And I said it in this tone. Like, I never even actually asked for a manager. I was just talking to this guy. And I said, it seems to me like from the moment we pulled up, the first thing you said to my husband after he generously apologized for not being super snappy in the drive-thru, the only thing you said to him when you took our money was that we kept you here past close. And then you gave us the stuff. Then you gave us the wrong stuff. And when I checked the receipt to see if we had paid for it and noticed that we did, I politely asked you if we could have what we actually paid for. And then you hand us these 2 sodas that are filled to the brim with ice. I said, there's less soda in this than there was in the medium soda. And I just feel like this is kind of personal, and I'm not really understanding why you're treating us this way. I said, I just am asking for what I paid for. And he goes, well, I can offer you. And he like started to reach over like he was going to give us some coupons or something. I said, I don't want anything that I didn't pay for. I'm not asking for anything for free. I said, I just don't understand why you're treating us like this. And his response was, I treat everybody like this. This is my face. I treat my staff like this. You can ask them. They would tell you that I treat them the same way.
Wow.
And that was like kind of it. And I just said to him, I said, well, sir, I said, he goes, do you need me to replace your diet sodas? I go, with all due respect, I don't really want to drink anything else that comes out of this window right now. I said, I probably overstayed my welcome on that. I just don't understand why, if you were taking business at 8:56, why you were being so aggressively unwelcoming to your customers. And I said, I have the receipt here. I said, I might call the manager and have a discussion about this. He goes, well, you can't call the manager because I'm the manager on duty right now. And I said, well, maybe I'll call the owner. And he didn't really say anything to that. And his response before I left was, I'm sorry that you had this experience here. I'm treating you the way I treat everybody. He's like, I don't really show emotion to people, and this is just how I am, and this is how I treat people. I wonder if he has like a potential social condition. I'm aware of that. I never, ever said anything mean to him. I only ever asked for what I paid for. But at the end, I was like, why are you being mean to us? Like, that was the conversation I had for him. I'd left with 1 less soda than I paid for. I didn't get that replaced. My husband and I had to ration sips of the soda, the full soda that we had. Things. Yeah, I know. It was so sad. But what are you supposed to, like, I'm wondering if you're just, if you're in a situation like that, in a fast food situation, are you just supposed to,
like, you as a customer?
Should we have just taken our food and the wrong stuff and just gone about our evening? Is this ever stop? Is it ever going to change? Does that person have an obligation, not even to be like excessively nice, but to not be rude?
I don't know how
they have an obligation to not be rude. That's the bare minimum.
I'm not sure how you could have done that situation any better.
Exactly. I think you handled it very well.
And you did everything that everybody usually wants to do, but is usually not able to do without getting mad.
I even said to the guy, listen, I'm not here to ruin your night. I'm not here to get anything from you. I don't want you to do this to the next people who come through here. Like, and I said to him, I go, if you've had a really bad night and you said to me right now, you know, we got slammed and it's been a really rough night and I think I took it out on you, I would just say, it's cool. I totally get it. And gone about our way. But his response was, this is how I treat everybody.
That's the worst thing he could have said.
Wow. I know. I was like, okay, bye. I don't have it. I mean, there's no progress
Don't worry.
to be made.
Your experience is what I try to create for every other customer. Please don't call my manager. I'm the manager. That's a terrible excuse.
Bill says on YouTube, you expect far too much out of the fast food experience.
I don't agree with that.
That's the question.
I don't agree with that at all.
We were treated, and here's the thing. If it would have just been me, I probably would have kind of like given them a look and moved on. But I did not like the way they treated my husband. I did not like the way this guy treated my husband. And I think I was a little more compelled to like try to work through it because of that. But that's the question, Bill. Thank you for saying that. What should we be able to expect out of our fast food, quote unquote, experience? Because all I want is the food I freaking paid for and not to feel like I have to tell the people I'm sorry when I leave.
Well, yeah, and that's the expectation, that I drive through in a reasonable amount of time because it's supposed to be fast food. I'm not getting out of my car, and I just want what I paid for. You don't have to be nice to me. It's great that Chick-fil-A is super friendly. It makes the experience that much better. But if I go to any other restaurant, that person could literally not say a single word to me, and grunt at me and give me what I ordered that I paid for, and I don't care.
No, see, I'm different. I care.
Yeah, I'm different.
I care.
That's my expectation. What I love to get exceeded.
And so, like, your expectation and people like you who are like, whatever, I'm good with that, is why they get away with this. I mean,
but this is below that. My expectations.
I'm going to sound like a Karen here, but I'm good with that because we have to set, like, it's not unreasonable. I can't believe I have to say this out loud. It's not unreasonable to expect the fast food workers to be polite to the people who are buying the product so that they have jobs.
I don't think
You
that
weren't
right now.
asking for anything outrageous. You asked for what you paid for. You weren't asking him to give you the best experience ever. You just wanted the bare minimum, and he didn't have to reply
and the
that
thing
way.
about it that's amazing to me is the way Jared came off. Jared was apologetic. Like, I've been in that situation. I've worked fast food and I worked the window. And when you're working the window, you're the liaison between the customer and the angry people working the grill. That's just the way it is. And your job is to take whatever nonsense they're spewing back in the kitchen and turn it into something like a nice experience for those people, even though maybe you're frustrated that they came through at the end. But they came through at the end before the light was off. So when the open sign is on, you're open and you're making whatever.
I would have rather them closed at 8:55.
Yes.
And not taken my business and closed early and not treated me like that. And here's the other thing too, just to put you in my frame of mind when this conversation is going on. I know, and this happens with some regularity, people will recognize who I am. And I know that if I have that conversation with that person and someone recognizes me and hates me, that the likelihood of that experience being videoed and shared and hurting me and my family it's not likely, but it absolutely is a possibility. So when if everybody in St. Louis would have watched me have that exchange, I would not have been ashamed of anything that I did or said. And if there is a version of me that existed pre-public figure Annie that might have handled that a little more aggressively and a little meanly. So I'm glad that I've grown out of that. But I can't understand, other than the reality that people it's incredibly hard to find work. Mm-hmm. I do not understand why this is such a consistent experience to some varying degree, especially in the service industry, that the response to this whole experience, the culmination was, I treat everybody like this. You're no different. Is there anything else you need? Goodbye.
I have a theory on that, and it comes from yesterday. We talked about yesterday, the problem with culture is people are so inwardly focused and they're not worried about other people out there. So at the same time as you are dealing with that person has probably dealt with a steady diet of people that were just absolutely awful in the drive-thru. Because I remember that experience too.
And that guy's probably not doing anything to incentivize people to change.
No.
Like, it's probably it's cyclical problem. So here's the question I have for people who haven't, if you go to the YouTube live chat and vote in today's poll, after hearing that story especially, who would you like to have be your boss? Brad, Ryan, Hannah, or myself? But also comment and let me know, because I still have the receipt when I can easily Google. Everybody's asking where this place is. I'm specifically not saying it on the air because if this guy was having a bad day, I don't want his worst day to, I don't want to cancel him. I really was trying hard to be like, hey, dude, lighten up. It's not that bad. This was kind of a crap experience for my family. Maybe don't make it like that again for somebody else. Or maybe just understand that this perpetual, like you said, feedback loop is not really a good thing for you or for anybody who comes through here and for the business that you work for. Should I contact the owners and tell them about my experience? If you are an owner of a fast food restaurant and you're listening, I would really like to know in the YouTube live chat, Annie Frey YouTube live chat, if you would like to know and hear about this experience, or if this would just likely fall on deaf ears. So let me know what you think. And again, if I were to contact the owner, I would tell him the story pretty much just like this. Like, this was my experience. I think he was having a rough day. It was a negative experience. Maybe you'd like to know about it. So let me know in the comments. Vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Hannah is going to give us the updates as soon as we come back. Happy Thanksgiving Tuesday, folks. Thank you for being with us. We're grateful for you. We'll be back in just a minute with the poll results. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
Station KFTK, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing a broad outreach for job vacancies at our stations. We seek the help from local community organizations in referring qualified applicants to our stations. Community organizations that wish to receive our job vacancy information can reach out to Frankie Fan at 206-577-2432. In addition, all listeners are encouraged to visit Odyssey.com for an online listing of job vacancies of all Odyssey radio stations.
Hairsaloon.com. It's important to talk about Hair Saloon and the things that they do in to support veterans, to support first responders, to make sure that they are giving back to the community that they serve. And Hair Saloon is absolutely that is a wonderful place to go. When you get your hair cut at Hair Saloon, you are contributing to a business that gives back. If you were looking for a place to get a haircut for the holidays here, if you're looking for a place where you can easily go online to hairsaloon.com and make an appointment, you can see they have locations in Missouri, they have locations in Illinois, and they're waiting to treat you the way a gentleman should be treated. Young or old, the Hair Saloon experience is tailored to helping you relax and prepare for whatever the world throws your way. You can get a complimentary beverage, a relaxing shampoo, and you can top your visit off with a hot towel, a mint, and a complimentary shoe shine. Visit Hair Saloon at any of their 16 St. Louis area locations and enjoy an experience unlike any other in the men's hair cutting business. You can find all the details you need online, including how to make an appointment at hairsaloon.com.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuyshomesaintlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Chris Buys Homes in St. or call 314-782-8000.
Join Mosby Building Arts every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 FM. Rich Orris and guests give insider tips about renovations, design, construction, exteriors, and more. Tune in to Right at Home with Rich on Saturdays or catch the podcast online.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service now offers insulation services. Did you know 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated? Increase your energy savings and comfort with better insulation. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
George Rosenthal from Throttlenet is with us.
I love AirDrop. With every good piece of technology, somebody finds a way to use it in a negative way.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Well, I heard those city singers.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Deeper than the oceans, higher than the stars above. But I am from the country, and I know I ain't seen it all. But I heard that ocean salty, and those stars, they sometimes.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Tuesday of Thanksgiving week. I'm taking tomorrow off to be with my kiddos, and we'll be back next Monday. So happy Thanksgiving to you and to yours. Thank you for being a part of the Annie Frey Show family. I always am grateful for you, and I appreciate each time you choose to spend 5 minutes or 3 hours with us each and every day. Ryan, you said I just told a story. If you're just joining us, I just told a story about a fast food experience that I had this weekend, and I am not saying who it is or where it was, but it was an unfortunate experience. The question is, should I contact the owner to describe the experience that I just described on air.
And my friend is a fast food restaurant manager, so this would probably be the guy that you would end up getting back to. He says,
does he own this place?
I don't think he owns it. No, he doesn't have it.
Not this place.
He said, tell Annie there's a line on the cup about 2/3 of the way up. And that is where you fill the ice to.
Not to the lid.
First of all.
Unless you want to be in.
Yeah, a womp. I said, would you want to know from the customer, though, if this experience happened? He said, depends on how my day was going, but generally, yes.
I get that.
And they've been pretty bad lately, he said. He added that. So they've not been great people to work with lately. Although he did say about 6 months ago that the worker shortage has been easing up a little bit, which is good to hear.
Interesting. All right, let's get to the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll today, Hannah.
All right, the poll is asking which Annie Frey show member would you most like to have as your boss? Hannah, Brad, Ryan, or Annie? Do we want to get to the results or some comments first?
Comments
People
can still go vote right now if they like.
Go ahead and vote. Art from YouTube says he would pick Annie.
Oh, is this Art?
Yes.
This is disagreeable but respectful Art?
Yes. He says Annie. She is tough but fair, admits when she is wrong, and is willing to listen.
You hear that, Ryan?
I didn't.
I was busy.
You don't have to repeat it, though. I don't care.
Brandon from YouTube said...
He was busy filling the cup all the way to the top with ice.
Brandon from YouTube said, I chose Wiggins. I could buy him off with gummy bears, and we wouldn't get much done.
Yeah, that's called being aboard the Titanic and having fun.
Michael Goodsell from YouTube said, you would no longer be allowed to call Hannah Boop or Beanbag if she was your boss. Tommy from Facebook says, I think Brad should be all of your bosses.
Yeah.
Kathy says, I chose Brad. He is direct, clear, and kind. He will not micromanage. Just give you the tools and freedom to succeed within his guidelines. I could not ask for more in a boss. That's legit. That's really good. Libby Dominic from YouTube said, depends on what type of job. If it's easy and mindless, definitely Wiggins. If it's stressful or challenging, definitely Brad.
Easy and mindless. Man, I did not
Everyone
fare
always
well.
says, if there are two things in your dating profile, Ryan Wiggins, it's
Easy and mindless. you want a no frills
what
relationship?
Kind of date? Yeah, what kind of date is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's
Take
something...
on a magic carpet ride.
Easy and mindless.
Josh says, Hannah for sure. I need to be left to my own devices, and she seems laid back. Annie seems like she's potentially a taskmaster.
Potentially.
Joe from YouTube said, Annie got my vote today. Granted that I know none of you. Here's my brief and probably offensive predictions for each of you as bosses. Annie would be blunt.
Yeah.
Brad would be strict. Yeah. Ryan would be stressed, and Hannah would be breezy.
I don't think Hannah would be breezy.
No.
Easy breezy.
You just sound
No,
breezy.
you're easy. She's breezy.
When I have been a boss, I've been surprisingly demanding. And I don't like that about myself, but I was.
All right, let's get to the numbers.
That's also not surprising.
Once again, the poll is asking,
You do that.
which Annie Frey show member would you most like to have as your boss? Hannah, Brad, Ryan, or Annie? 34% of the people voted Annie. They would want as her boss. 30% voted Brad. 19% voted Ryan. 16% voted for myself. So it was pretty close poll. But Annie wins.
Went close enough.
With 34%.
That's great. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You probably regret that. Don't worry. You just have to listen to us. Anytime you have some spare time, we're always grateful for it. Happy Thanksgiving. Please, please, please take the time this Thanksgiving holiday to set all the other stuff aside and be grateful for the things that would break your heart if you missed them. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Stick around. The Mark Reardon Show's next.
Congress has authorized trillions in new spending.